The following show is for mature audiences only. Shy City Sports.
The Tape Never Lies.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape Never Lies.
Starts now.
The tape never lies.
But I can hear my guy Phil Ottochian in the back of my head right now because
Rap Dr. Phil pointed this out and the tape never lies.
What's up, Doc? Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Can we rock? What's up, Doc? Can we rock?
And when you have a agenda, I want to be the best play caller. I want my offense to be great. You lose perspective and you never find your identity.
Big plays are nice. They're good. We need more of those.
Weird as shit.
Just keep it simple, stupid. How many times have we said it? It's all about fundamental football there. I'll be completely honest. There's times I understand when you have to buck the trend and be aggressive, try to end it and go for the throat. But you go down shooting with your best weapon. You don't sit them on the sidelines. We saw a second and long today with Mac and Robert Quinn off the field.
Second and 24.
We got to do better, man. Chicago ain't that good. I still say they ain't that good. And we can't beat them. What?
False start offense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down. Left tackle Charles Leno. Second and goal from the Carolina. 6 from the Carolina. 6 from the Carolina. 6 with the Bears leading 7-3. With the Bears leading 7-3. Falls over the top. Traffic's bad, but not enough by Anthony Miller as he looks to cut it back.
How do you call timeout, get a delay? How do you have 12 men on the field twice? How?
Big plays are nice. They're good. We need more of those.
How about the mayor? Let's go!
False start offense. Number 72.
We know that across the board on offense right now, there's different things that we can get better at. And
I mean, they're 4-1. The record speaks for itself, but they've won very close games down to the wire in those victories. So for me, is this a good team and they're going to maintain this through the rest of the season? Or is this one of those fake teams and this is going to collapse sooner than later? I can't wait to find out.
Teddy. Teddy.
What's your favorite scary movie? Wishbone! Fucking Wishbone!
What's up, Doc?
I'm fucking on as Claudio, the producer. I'm on the ground with a heart panic. I felt like Chris Farley, like, boom, it's number fucking 3.
No problem, just having a heart attack.
This guy is an Arena League sham shoe salesman motherfucker.
Oh, no,
that's
he
what
didn't.
You have what I rap in the open. Critical of Nagy because the talent he's been dealt. That's the lyric.
Oh, the tape doesn't lie. Oh, the tape doesn't lie.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
And
so the Bears are sending their compensatory 4th-round pick to Jacksonville for Nick Foles.
I know we need to run the ball more. I'm not an idiot.
Keeping it 100.
Open competition.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Chicago Bears select Cole Kmet.
Guess who's back? The two
truths and kept it real. Dynamic duo that you love, the smartest man at Dr. Phil. Breaking down the film, never a problem, kick it straight. Most shows focus on stats, we focus on the tape. We keeping it 100, never running east or west. We coming with that truth, cause that's what our fans expect. Cut off the freaking anchor, moving forward to be free. But don't you worry, Shayne's got the dumbest tweets. It ain't no secret, Phil and Shayne got some haters, but now the mouth stuck like the true and now and later. Debaters, claws get kicked like Coach Tabor. Cuts had to be made, we added a barber moderator. Up and down, boys got you double checking. Sad sacks strolling like a fool drunk texting. Flexing on the truth cause you know they'll never change. Real, recognize real, that's what you get with Phil and Shayne. 100's what we do when we're breaking down the Bears. Fuck a play or a captain, all of the upstairs. The tape never lies, the truth you see. With eyes, we analyze, so there's no babies like Maybelline. Straight to the truth with acumen and facts. We got a sad nerd, but he's not just giving nerd stats. Car crash, big impact like Max Sack. Every Wednesday night you got the smartest man and Phil back. Now we know you're smiling like a fat kid with fun dip. We're back better than ever and we're keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100, baby. Keep it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100.
Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man.
Keeping it 100, baby. Keep it 100.
Keeping it 100.
Yo, this is Claudio the Barber, and this is Shy City Sports Keeping It 100. The Bears, 5-1. We're like Jon Snow, Kings of the North, baby. So, you know what? The defense showed up again. You know, the offense made the plays when it needed to make them. And, you know, that's all you could ask for. We got a big game coming up on Monday. So, you know, we also got a great show coming for you. We got Shawn Sierra from SportsZone Chicago coming on. So let's bring in the guys. We got Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw. Where are they? There they are.
Claudio.
There they are. What up, boys?
Claudio
What's
looking
going
like
on?
he's in the college dorm tonight.
I know. I'm still in my house. My new shop is a little.
Smoke weed every day.
Couldn't wait to put that up, Shayne. Gotta start the show off, right, Claude?
Fuck
it, yeah, why not? Why not?
What a night. Did you
What a
like
night.
the Open, Claudio? You're usually the grader.
Oh, the Open was great. Of course. Of course. Always.
Is that an
Always.
A plus,
It was hilarious,
B,
dude.
B plus?
The shoe salesman
Yeah.
clip got it for me, man. That shoe salesman.
You know what I took out of
that
the
was
out of the
great.
Open
I
was
had a chuckle- I
Nate
had a chuckle
Burleson.
at that.
You know, they're 5-1, but this team is winning close games. That's what you're
Isn't that how
supposed to
you
do.
do it?
That's what you're supposed to do, Nate. How many times do you hear, you know, these guys, team goes out and boat races another team 3 or 4 times, and they're like, but can they win the close ones? That's
they
exactly
win?
what we're doing.
Can they
That's
win
what
the
I
close
said.
ones?
I sent out a tweet, and I will stick to it. All the Bears haters, people like Peter Bukowski, Michael Kist, you'll be hearing from both of them later, sending out their hate towards Chicago, you know, saying winter is coming. You better pray to the football gods Chicago doesn't figure out their offense. That's all I'm going to say.
Got a lot of Game of Thrones references
Yeah.
tonight.
Pray to
Look,
God
I got
Chicago
my-
doesn't figure out the offense.
Got a Wild Wings shirt on. Game
Nice.
of Thrones.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I got
Well,
my
the Kings
Tape
of the
Never
North.
Lies Network shirt on, Claudio.
I know. I'm waiting for that.
See,
Alex.
I'm promoting what came out today. See?
Yeah, the Tape Never
Steve-
Lies came
Steven
out
loved
today.
it.
Thank you,
Taven
Steven.
loved it.
Yep, the Patreon channel is open, www.tapeneverlies.com. The 40 minutes of analysis, coaching clinic, go over there. That's where you're going to get it all. We appreciate you guys. The Patreons are fired up, and we're going to hear from a bunch of them tonight.
Yeah, and hopefully there's a plumber out there. We need a plumber.
You like that line in there.
That was a good line.
You know, when I'm doing the tape breakdowns, I just go into a zone. I mean, it takes a... Shane was witnessing because we had a great swag meeting last night with our swag team. So that is coming, like the North is coming, Claudio, right? Another Game of Thrones. Yeah. Winter's coming. That's winter's coming, sorry. Yeah. The winter's coming. Yeah. But yeah, the swag is coming. We had a great meeting, and I was literally cutting tape in the meeting while they're talking as I'm listening to it. And it's a long, arduous process to break it down. But when I get to the point where it's time to just narrate it, I go into what you've witnessed when you were a player for me back in the day, when I'm just making jokes and teaching all at the same time. So that's why those are not, it's just one take and then we go. And I can't thank you guys enough for the amount of people that believe in me and Shane and this network. And now that are big fans of Claudio's segment, Cut It Out. We have plenty.
Who would have thunk it? Holy shit. I think everybody loves Claudio.
Smoke weed every day.
Always smiling, baby, especially when we're 5-1. Always.
Listen, I try to answer a lot of the Patreon and huge fans of what we do here because Dieter is on the practice squad. So he is with the Bears. He's working his way to get the opportunity. But we know, Shane, and this brings me to a great point. We know the Chicago Bears, when it comes to opportunities, have some sort of political policy. And it seems like just with Ridley and the Anthony Miller stuff that I show you as a coach, that is a fucking... That's a smoking gun. Exactly, Maria. Miller and Leno are right there on the tape. It doesn't lie. It never does. And to see them going out there and play like that when I'm watching them, I mean, that one play I had to have out there. And I know they hear about it and they see it. And you could cut it and tag them in it. I don't care. You're a professional. Cole Kmet is running with the football. And to see your teammate more concerned about getting a pass thrown to them than throwing a block.
Yeah.
That's a reflection of the fucking head coach.
No, you see that on tape instantly, Phil. You send out the APB for Miller to come to the principal's office. You fucking handle that immediately.
I don't give a shit if there's no one in the stands. Yeah. You're a professional athlete playing a game that means everything to these people that are paying NFL Sunday Ticket, Game Pass across the pond, wherever you're listening from. It's ridiculous that you don't have enough passion and heart and desire to play this game that you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands, millions for some of these guys. And that's really the disheartening thing. And when you hear me critical of Nagy, it's because of that. It's because of that's the starting point. You can't get, I don't give a shit. He's got his locker room in order? Yeah. If they were 1-5, do you think he's got his locker room in order? You're 5-1 and you got guys walking and loafing. You got shitty play calls, confusion, timeouts, and I got people telling me, well, they've got 5 wins. Why are you critical of him? Look at his record. Yeah? Mike Martz has a fucking winning record. Are you critical of him? You want him your head coach? It's not about that. It's about culture. You can be friends with players, but there's a line. It's like a parent, like a mom that's best friends with her daughter. At some point, that daughter is going to be trouble. You can't be friends. You love them. You love them to death, obviously. But there's got to be a line, and it's not there. I'm telling you, if this... How long have I called Leno out, Shane? How long?
It's been years. It's been Oh man, Phil, you called him out, I believe, when he got his contract extension. You were questioning it. I know a lot of people saw the money initially, and just like always, it's not their money, but that's exactly what they're usually worried about most when it comes to a contract. I mean, for the way that his play is, the contract is, he didn't deserve it. I think that they thought that there was still some upside there, so they were going to invest in him and try to keep it low, but it's regressed so much since that point. And just to re-emphasize what we always talked about here, Phil, he's a guy that started at the bottom. He was a 7th-round draft pick with, I think that was the Kyle Fuller draft, maybe, when he came in? Or the year before. He was Phil Emery's guy, 7th-round draft pick out of Boise. But he came in, he showed some promise, and he didn't look as passive as he does now, Phil, but now he got fat on the contract, and you see it in his play. You see it. He's disinterested.
He's disinterested. That's right. And it's hard, because people don't see the game like I do. So in meeting some of these people that I truly love, it's not a shot at anybody. It really isn't. It's the reality of the truth, as I always say. There's a reality of the truth, and then there's people that try to talk through it like they know football. But one thing I can attest to, and anybody who knows me, I think I've proven my resume with putting my name on the work that I throw out to hundreds of millions. Because Shayne has numbers. So when I say millions, it's not a lie. So how many people are seeing this, imitating me, now they're changing course, people unfollowing the network? That's classy. Classy stuff. The reality for me, Leno not going to the principal's office, Shayne, to use your analogy, I can't even comprehend it. My father calls me this week. 1 second. He goes, Phil, I feel so bad for that kid, number 9. He is such a he's single-handedly helping you win, despite the coach and despite the JV left tackle you have. How he continues to start. And he doesn't know our roster that well. He's learning it so he could do some stuff for Patreon and have a show. So he's studying the roster, and then that guy he would be done. I would tell the GM, I can't play this guy. Don't care that you paid him. At what point does the team matter more? At what point? That's the problem with this. And the record is one thing. You're a block punt away from losing. Because some of you who aren't in Patreon, 40 minutes of it that I broke down, I didn't put this play in the free version, but we almost have a block punt near the end of the game after Allen Robinson's drop and the wobbly throw, whoever you want to put it on, that's fine. But we almost get a block. Does that change? Yes, it changes the whole game. Now you lose. Does the story change? That's football. That's what records don't tell the story yet. See me about the winning record at the end of the year. Then we'll talk records, what they mean. What I'm seeing on the tape, as this network is defined, Shayne, it doesn't lie, never does, is horrific. You're winning despite your head coach. You're winning despite your offense. That defense is championship quality defense. The referees took away 2 fucking defensive touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, it's happening weekly with Eddie Jackson. That's the sad part. But Phil, one thing that I want to bring up, again, with Charles Leno, I mentioned him being a 7th-round draft pick. Can you sit here with a clear conscience and say that Arlington Hambright would be worse? No. I can't.
No. I love that argument from people. When they go out of their way and they say, well, who are you going to play? Who is Charles Leno? Mooney. Remember? Who's Darnell Mooney?
Well,
that's what football is.
But Phil, what is the one thing that we've always heard from this coaching staff and every coaching staff in existence when there's an injury? Oh, we're not going to focus on that. It's the next man up philosophy. It shouldn't just come into play for injuries. It should come into play.
Why did?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Why did it come into play with Mitch?
Exactly.
Why did it come into play with Mitch and not your tackle, your wide receiver? You listen. One thing, and I'll shut up, Shane. For Way Marie, I'll shut up. Here's my truth. My uncle Sam Ratigliano coached the Cleveland Browns. He was the head coach. The Cardiac Kids. Look him up. He said to me, Philip, you'll be shocked at how many shoe salesmen are in the league coaching. Fans put their faith in them like a priest. Have you seen some of these stories about priests? So we believe because someone told us that this guy's good. But then the proof is in the fucking pudding. The proof is in the pudding. When's the last time, Shane, in your mind, that you could say, our head coach, any of them, our head coach coached a fucking great game?
It's been a long time. I mean, I think that there is some positives with Nagy that you have to bring into play here, Phil. But this is something that we've seen from the Chicago Bears, even through you go back to Lovie Smith, and that was the most successful coach that we've had in a while.
Right.
It was always the same way. We needed 4 quarters strung together on offense. It's been the same thing year after year after year. Politics were played back then, and there's always been one consistent piece to all of this, and that's what's up top with ownership and the team president. We're never going to change that. You can't revolt and change and make the McCaskies sell this team. They're not going to launch Ted Phillips.
Right.
If it was ever going to happen, it would have happened 20 years ago because it needed to happen. But that's the thing. But you can't, Olin Kreutz, and I don't know if you want to break some news with that, Phil. You want to go ahead and tell him?
I wasn't, but I will if you want.
Yeah, why not? We'll tell him. We'll fire up.
We're fired up to announce November 4th, Keepin It 100. Who I think should be in the Hall of Fame, speaking of Lovie Smith, the center, the captain, number 57, Olin Kreutz is going to jump on Keepin It 100 with us. And obviously, the offensive line focus is going to be there, and nobody keeps it 100 like we do with a guy like Olin Kreutz coming on Keepin It 100. So November 4th, Olin Kreutz will be here. Put up 2 comments. Michael Tran. You can't bench someone that you don't have a backup for. Guess what? Do you know Spriggs? Do you know how he could play? No, you don't. Jason Spriggs was a second-round pick coming out of Indiana who got injured. I haven't seen him play. You haven't seen him. But we know that the reality of the truth is anything is better than what you're seeing at left tackle with the Chicago Bears now.
You can't say that you don't have a backup because you're guessing.
He's getting paid.
You're totally guessing. Right.
You're totally guessing.
He made the 53 for a reason. Yeah, there's a lack of quality at offensive line across the league. But these guys, you never know how they're going to respond, Phil, when they get their chance.
Exactly. Someone gets the light turned on.
As bad as 72 is, that's why he got to where he is. That's why he got the contract extension, 7th-round draft pick coming in. But Phil, to go back to what Olin was saying, this has went back, like I said when I brought up Lovie Smith. This has been the issue in Chicago for so long.
Exactly.
Everything is focused on one side of the ball, and you can see it. If you want to find the issue, follow the money. Follow the money. What did Olin say when he was on with us? He said, I went up and I talked to Jerry Angelo, sat right at his desk, and he's like, Olin, you gotta watch the game of this offensive lineman right here, and it was Frank Omiel, and he made Olin watch one game, and Olin goes, "Yeah, that's one game. What do I care? It's one game. He needs to do more." He's like, "Jerry, we are not going to do anything this year with our offensive line. We're fucking terrible." His words exactly to the general manager. And what happened that offseason? They went outside and they signed Julius Peppers to the defense that had Lance Briggs, Brian Urlacher, Charles Tillman, the whole crew that we all know. And what did the offense get? We got Frank Omiel. And then you wonder why this team struggles so much on offense and there's zero consistency there. Yes, quarterback situation has always been there. Offensive line's been in shambles. Wide receiver has been an issue forever. You go out and dump a ton of money into Moose back in the day. Exactly.
Muhammad, Bernard Berrien,
yeah,
Jeff Graham, those guys. The other thing I saw, we had the voice of the Tape Never Lies network. Where was he? Claudio had his point up. Get him back up. My boy Lawrence Fleming, Claudio. He had a great point, and it's about effort. There. This is the voice of every promo, everything we do. That's my boy, my guy right there, Lawrence Fleming. By the way, happy birthday, Lawrence. You had a victory birthday at least. That's my guy. He's right. Imagine being a head coach and your plays, your concepts are taught, and then you go out into the football field and you make mistakes. I can live with a mistake going full speed. I'm coaching 5 and 7-year-olds. And tonight, all we did was run full speed because when they snap the ball, they all run towards the hand. It's like I'm coaching out of my mind. I'm so exhausted from cutting tape and coaching little kids. But it's taught. You got to go 100 miles an hour at least. Don't make a mistake going half-ass. I put it on tape for these people of the world that are talking on the radio. David Montgomery sucks. What's this dude? Forgot his name. He's on Jay something on ESPN. Jesus Christ. He's new with Cap. What's his name?
Oh, Jay
Hood. Jay Hood. He's got to stay in the hood because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Montgomery can't find a hole. No one can find a hole. No one can. Because it's every play there's a breakdown. Physically or mentally. It's like rolling the dice. It's playing craps with this offensive line. And by the way, you fired Harry Heastand. You brought in Juan Castillo, and we saw the first couple weeks. I'm like, holy shit, they're getting it. Yeah, we got the walrus technique going, but he's going to get on his ass. Maybe the COVID shit and he's not being there on their asses. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But it is bad. It is bad. And I know things get, when you hold players accountable. We're going to have a guy that played college football on the same level as I did, a 1AA level tonight. He knows. He could speak on. When a coach points out your lack of effort in front of your peers, there is nothing. I would rather run naked through Manhattan than sit there and have my coach question my integrity or accountability. I'm just saying, it's sad. And nothing's being done. The media's not saying it. You know what the media's doing in Chicago? They're blaming David Montgomery. I heard a fan of ours, Shane, went on the Score. I wish I didn't have time to pull the audio, but one of you had sent it to me. My mind is blank, so forgive me. Calling him Speed Bump Charlie needs to step up, and they were talking about Speed Bump Charlie and holding, at least on the Score, I'll give them a tip of the hat. We're saying these tackles are atrocious. And something. How are you? You're here for 2 years. You still haven't found 3 years. You haven't found your identity. You're an offensive guru who can't run plays. You're an offensive guru that can't block plays. I like big plays, Shane, in the open.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? I know we're getting up to our guest. He's coming up right now in a second. We only do it like this, though, Claudio, right? Where are you, Claudio?
Of course, I'm right here. I'm waiting for our guy. He's there. He's waiting. He's waiting
in
for
the
us.
green room. I
Open.
can see it.
So,
yeah,
he's in the green room. So we're waiting for the open, Phil.
So listen, every week when we have a guest, we always do it in style and grace. This guy deserves all of that. Here we go.
You can find this guy every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, hosting Shawn and Maya in the morning from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Time. His knowledge of sports is matched by few in the industry, having played football in college and professionally in Italy and semi-pro for 15 years. He was a league-leading rusher in the Italian League in 1994, beating out Paulie Walnuts. 100 crew, please stand up and give it up for the 2013 Mid-States Football League Hall of Fame inductee, Shawn Sierra.
There he is.
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
What's going on, Shawn?
Shane?
How you doing?
Nah. How you doing?
Man, how we do it.
Man, I'm fired up. I'll be out with you guys, man. I'm fired up.
Is my video messing up now again?
No, you're good right now. You were
Should I
real
leave?
choppy.
Should I leave?
No, you're good now, man. You're good.
I don't know what's going on with this fucking StreamYard stuff. It drives me crazy, Shawn, because I upgraded the internet and everything, so everything should be copacetic, just like the Hall of Famer. Look at that. I didn't know you were in the Hall of Fame until Shane wrote it out. So,
yep.
What was that like playing over in Italy, real quick?
It was the best time of my life. I didn't think anything could be better than college, and I was wrong.
How simple as that?
You know, it was. Let me tell you something. Living a pro athlete's lifestyle was crazy. Here, I could imagine, but overseas, it's just insane because obviously I looked a little different, so I stood out. Because I was in northern Italy, I was in Bologna. If I was in southern Italy, I would have blended in a little more. That's just for all you history buffs, you'll know why. But you know, up north, I stood out a little more, and so it was everywhere I went, like Americani. So what was really wild was that they wouldn't let me pay for a dinner or a drink.
Oh, wow. Really?
Dude, that was insane. Like I felt bad for a while. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I take a girl out, we go to dinner, and I don't know how many thousand lira it would be, and like, no paghi, tu americani, no paghi. I'm like, no, I have to pay. And like, no paghi. And I was like, so I'd end up giving like the waitress like 3/4 of what the meal cost. And so obviously now they love me because like, oh my God, he's giving us so much money. And drinks, same thing. I go to a bar or a local establishment and they're like, oh, the Americanis go touchdown. I was like, yeah. And so, dude, that was wild. That was really, really, really wild. So it was awesome. And I love architecture. You can call me Art Vandalay if you'd like. But, I was in the
import and export.
Yes, import exporter. And so, I'm in Italy, and you talk about the architecture over there is just crazy.
Well, we're crazy about these Chicago Bears, and Shawn, you've been watching it. We started off the show. Obviously, the offense is holding this team back from what we believe. Obviously, this championship quality defense we see. It's the same old with this team. They hire an offensive guy and they never can then get a consistent offensive performance. Not anything we've ever seen here. So talk about your feelings about Coach Nagy. Where are you standing with him?
Not a Nagy fan at all, dude. I can't stand him. All right, he's a guy from Jump Street. He came in and he refused. He's one of those, he's a used car salesman, okay? And that's the issue. All right, he sits there and sells a lot of wolf tickets and says what you want to hear and talks a lot and is very, very amiable to the fans, to the media, but he doesn't do shit, okay? So case in point, Jordan Howard was not his type of running back, I get it.
Right.
Not a problem. You have your own system. You have running backs that fit, not a power back. But just because Jordan Howard wasn't his type of running back doesn't mean Jordan Howard wasn't a good running back. And Jordan Howard was a very good running back. And the only person up until last year who had more yards since he came in was Ezekiel Elliott. So you're talking about top company here that he's keeping, and he refused to use him. So what you do is, if you're a good offensive coordinator, if you're a smart offensive coordinator, is what you do is you morph your system to fit the skill set of your players. You don't make your players fit your system. That was one thing. Then you got one of my guys I love, Javon Williams.
Yes.
I love this guy. Now, this guy's not a great ball route runner. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that needs to be worked on, needs to be tightened up. But what does he do? This guy can jump out of the gym. If you watch some of his highlights at Georgia, this guy's 6'3", former basketball player, 6'3" with a 37-inch vertical. You mean to tell me you can't line him up one-on-one on the outside, have a slot in the middle, have a slot run right at the safety to hold the safety, and have a jump ball with a guy with a 37-inch vertical? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. And you know what? And sometimes football is just that simple. It's literally just that simple. I'm bigger. If you don't believe me, look at Jimmy Graham. Jimmy Graham, I'm 6'7", you're 5'9". I'm bigger than you. I'm going to post up, turn around, catch the ball, and you're going to be behind me, and you can't do a damn thing about it. So he's not putting his players in the best position to be successful. And I know it sounds like a cliche, but it's so true. And he's not doing it, and it pisses me off because we have the talent. Imagine this. Imagine Javon Williams on one side, Allen Robinson in the slot, Jimmy Graham on another side, and pick whoever you want on the other side, Ridley, Anthony Miller on the other side, whatever you want. Or Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet. I don't want Anthony Miller right now.
Yeah, he's kind of annoying. He's pissing me off too. His lack of effort and is little, but that's another story. So you give me
that's so sad to see with Anthony Miller, Shawn.
Yeah,
you
dude.
Gotta agree because he was stringing together some games at the end of the season last year where we're like, all right, this kid's gonna start growing. Thought maybe he settled down in the offseason, became a father, seemed like he was busting his ass, working out, working hard. Came into this year, didn't have a great game, but caught a big ball from Mitch in Detroit.
Game one,
and since then, he did have another touchdown, but man, you talk about regression. Phil does his tape never lies every week, and you see this kid kicking and screaming when he doesn't get a ball. And walking off the sideline. Shawn, you've been around the world playing this game. How many coaches that you've played for are going to stand for something like that when they go back and watch the tape and see that? A kid that's not producing on the field and is going to act that immature on the field the way that he was, and while you're letting a guy, you brought him up, Ridley, they're not even dressing this kid. They're not even giving him a chance.
I don't even have to go to coaches. I played with every single quarterback that I played with would have kicked him off the field. They would have yelled at coach, get his ass off the field. I don't want him out there. The quarterbacks that I played with wouldn't even have gotten to the head coach. And those are the quarterbacks I've had. I played with Tom Chacho at Holy Cross. He was a first-team All-American. I had the number 3 quarterback in Italy when I was out there. And then when I played here, semi-pro, I had 2 quarterbacks who took us to national championships, 2 different teams. And so those guys they would have yelled, get his ass off the field in a heartbeat. And I've seen it. So that's how I know these are the guys. But as far as coaches, every single one of them would have got him off. Like, get off the field. You know what? If you're upset because you didn't get the ball because you're open, guess what? There's other people who are open on plays that you get the ball. And they don't sit there and bitch and moan like a little crybaby. So that's really disheartening. And I'll tell you what I think it is. I think he's starting to get a big head, and why I don't know. But he's starting to have a little too much attitude for me. When you really haven't done anything, you're not 600-800 yard receiver, 6-8 touchdown kind of guy. If you were, I could see you. I can understand why you're getting a big head. I wouldn't agree with it, but I can understand it. But you're not giving me that type of production to start thinking you're God's gift to the best thing since Jerry Rice. Sorry, kid.
Let me ask you this. Big play in the game, that third down play. He's catching the shallow cross. Obviously, he's got the safety sitting there. He catches the ball. Instead of being Victor Cruz, Julian Edelman, a Wes Welker, that knows where the sticks are, is unselfish, and dive forward and get the first down, he tries to counter back make a juke like he's going to make a big play and gets smashed, you end up having to punt. This is these kind of mistakes without any accountability. Oh, he's starting next week. You were throwing to him up. Remember, a couple weeks before, coming across the middle on a dig, he drops the ball, it tips up, they get intercepted.
Yep. And it doesn't go on his record and the QB's record.
Exactly. He's pointing the finger at Mitch every chance he gets, talking shit about Mitch to everybody and their brother, and he's not doing shit. And Coach Furry keeps putting him out. What about Riley Ridley? Where's he?
Give him a shot.
Best route runner, I thought, in that draft.
That's what everyone was claiming. That's what they said to us.
I know. Brian Pace called him the beacon of light, right, Shane?
Yeah, they did two. They said it about Anthony Miller and Riley Ridley, but yeah, I mean that's not even. That's an exact quote from Ryan Pace. He said when we got to the 4th round, I had mentioned it on a draft show the night before, and I'm like, guys, if we come up with our pick in the 4th round and Riley Ridley's there, you got to take the kid. I mean, he's not his brother, obviously. But this kid, one thing, Shawn, you brought it up. Keep it simple. You can do a lot of damage on offense that way. I mean, something that Phil and I talk about time and time again on this offense. The Bears have the personnel to slant teams to death, and we rarely see it. Yeah,
Javon Williams.
Exactly. We rarely ever see it, and it drives me nuts.
I said it on BHL, Shawn, right after the game. Think about your 2 tight end personnel. You're running straight seams. And then you got these 2 fucking 6'3" receivers that can jump out of the gym running slants behind them.
Bingo.
Who's stopping that with Foles? Only Leno. That's it. I put up on the tape, never lie. Tell people that have never played the game, on a 3-step drop, should your quarterback ever get touched?
No.
Exactly.
Never.
Only
here.
A
3-step drop in a shotgun.
A shotgun 3. That's like a 5-step drop. Quick.
Yeah.
It's like boom, boom, like, I can't even understand these are the 2 questions. Miller and Leno. It's like hold Mitch accountable, not hold these players accountable. Begins to question your coach. Now Jimmy Graham's out there walking around. There's a lot of loafing. Talk about, well, you already talked about that with Shane and your quarterbacks, but talk about the leadership or the professional level, because you've played there. There's 2 sides to the team, and there's a defensive side, and then there's an offensive side. At what point does the defense then say, enough is enough with this bullshit?
You know what's funny is the semi-pro team that I played for here, the second one, the Chargers was the first one, and the Thunder was the second one. The Thunder had always had a phenomenal defense, and their offense was just kind of middle of the road. You know, they won a couple of mid-states tournaments and things like that. And so when the team folded that I was playing on the Chargers back in 2004, I went to them in 2005, and then another team in the area had folded and had come over to the Thunder as well. So we were talking about like an all-star team, and this defense had never seen anything like it. Now the defense, because the defense would, and I'd seen this team play when I would scout them. And, man, I'd see them on the sideline yelling at their running back, yelling at their quarterback, yelling at their receivers, catch the goddamn ball, catch the ball, get your ass up in the hole, stop pussyfooting around, get your ass up in the hole. And I'm seeing this from the stands when I was on the other side. And so when I came over to that team and they were like, they realized that I was there, they're like, oh, damn, this guy ain't pussyfooting around. He's coming through the hole. And it was funny because they never had to say that to us because we started putting up like 35 points a game. Like if they had 20 points a game, that was an offensive explosion for them beforehand. When we came over, it was like 35 minimum. And so this defense never had to do that. But I had seen this defense, you know, when I was scouting them when I was on the other team, go after their own players and say, hey, listen, you guys got to score. We're tired of being out there. We're tired of, we're scoring. You know, they would score as much as the offense would. And, they would get pissed. And so I've seen it. I haven't been on teams like that, but I've seen it from the other team that, when scouting them. And it gets tiring because they just like, you know what, give me a lead. So now if you're up 14, we're up 21, they're not running the damn ball. They're not running it. So guess what? I get to pin my ears back and I get to go get the quarterback. If they gas me for a 20-yard draw, okay, good, I'll take it. But guess what? They're gonna throw soon. So yeah, it's deep. The defense that I played for before I got there, they had done that to the offense, and it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long when you can't carry your own weight. Trust me.
Speaking of defense, we've talked about enough of the negatives right now. Let's stay on the defensive side of the ball. Number 23, man. You follow Kyle Fuller's career, and I mean he came out hot as hell as a rookie, then kind of tailed off at the end of the year. That second year, I mean, there was a point where they were thinking about moving off of him completely. Came back with a great year. I mean, I know Phil took some slack, but I'm right there with him, man. I think you have to put him in the conversation of being a top 3 cornerback in this league, just the way that he's playing. I mean, the physicality at cornerback that he plays with, I haven't seen in a long, long time. Shawn, you watch the games just like we do. What did you think of that? Mike Pereira coming out and saying, "Oh, you see right there, it's not shoulder to shoulder, it was shoulder to head." And I mean, it was clearly shoulder to shoulder. And these guys are talking that, but talk on Kyle Fuller a little bit and what you're seeing with him, because he's a special player.
Yeah, I met Kyle Fuller when I was in broadcast school, and I was a teacher. I don't know if you knew that, Shane. So I was a teacher, and I transitioned and get into this business. And so I was head of security over at the Under Armour store. So he'd come in a few times, and I introduced myself like, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you." Real nice guy, real quiet, real nice.
He's probably buying golf clubs, right?
Might have been. And so I was just like, "Hey, you know what? Good luck with you. Keep it up. Big Bear fan, whatever." To see where he came from that point,
yeah,
because he started off great, and then remember that was the last year of the head coach. Leonard. I'm thinking of Big Bang Theory. The guy Leonard. That's who he looks like.
Mark
Trestman. Yeah. I call him
Leonard. I thought you were talking about Leonard Floyd for a second.
Yeah. No,
Leonard from sweats again.
Big Bang Theory. And so, the veterans were really they tuned him out. And I think that really kind of got into him as well, because his play deteriorated, and I think they had a lot to do with the locker room. Okay, and then Fangio comes. Fangio puts him on blast. Remember, he put his ass on blast, saying, "I don't think he's prepares well enough," or something in order to basically call him out, threw his ass.
Wait, held him accountable?
There's a crazy idea.
Hold him accountable? What?
To the media, not to the media. So the whole
city. The whole city.
And he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed, and guess what? He changed his tune. He started watching more film. You can tell by his ability to run the routes for the receivers. He got a little more physical. He was never afraid to stick his nose in there.
Oh, no.
But you can say but he got more physical. And to see where he's at now, man, I freaking love it. This dude, I can't agree with you more that he's definitely a top 3 cornerback. And the physicality that he has that really sucks is that they call this is the pussification of America. Yeah. And it's my favorite sport with football. It really sucks because this guy, dude. Here's my thought, man. Here's what I said. You know what? You sign a waiver saying, I understand there could be brain damage. I understand there could be, complications after my playing career is over. But I don't hold the NFL liable for these things, and I'm going to, waive my rights to sue.
Right.
Okay. I want people's heads knocked off, dude. I want people's heads knocked off. I was a defensive coordinator when I was teaching. Okay. And I would always tell my guys, put your face mask through their God blessed chest. So put your face mask through their goddamn chest. I said, I want you to hit their freaking spine. Okay. Yeah. I said, run through these guys. And that's what I want. I want people scared to come across the middle. You understand? I want guys to have head on a swivel. I want guys, because you see now when guys have alligator arms, they hear footsteps. They're not really hearing footsteps. They're not going to be knocked in the next week. They're not going to need smelling salts to wake them back up on a sideline. That's what I need. That's what football is about. Football is not a contact sport. It's a collision sport. All right. It's 3.5 hours, 3 to 3.5 hours of car crashes every freaking 35 or 40 seconds. And this is what I love about the game. And they've taken it away from people like Kyle Fuller, who's not going to knock people in the next week as best as he could. And then they want to call bullshit because the guy gets his bell rung. Hey, too bad. You know what? The guy changes levels. And if you notice, he would have hit him smack dab in the chest, but the guy saw it. He braced for it, which brought his head down. So that was a bullshit call. And Mike Pereira.
That was crazy. Actually, I gotta shout out Lawrence Holmes here because he sent out a tweet when that happened. He goes, Kyle Fuller done did it. He became too physical for the NFL. And I said, think about that. I mean, it's funny. He wasn't being serious, but it's also fucking true.
He might have been serious.
Yeah. So, but man, the kid has taken the step, and it's great to see.
Yeah, I love Kyle Fuller. How could you not? I mean, I think of Donnell Wolford.
Bingo.
You know, the guy played with physicality. He
yeah.
grew. He became a lockdown. Oh
He's
my
small
god!
as hell, dude. I met him a couple times. I used to work Reeve Story's football camps. When I was playing, so every time I met all the guys. So I started back in like turn of the century. That sounds funny to say, but yeah. So we're talking like Urlacher, Brown, A Train,
the A Train.
David, who was the guy from Michigan?
David Terrell.
I was going to say Thomas. David Terrell.
I
Jerry
was so
Zuma,
excited for getting him in the draft that year. David Terrell,
me too.
2001.
Yeah, so I met Donnell Wolford, and man, he's a short dude, man. He is short.
Yeah.
He's not as short as I am, but he is short.
Really? No, dude, he's short, because I'm 5'11".
It feels 5'3".
I'm 5'7", and I just got although at Hofstra, the media guide said 5'10". I used to love that.
Every media guide's got it boosted up a little bit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He would know at Holy Cross. We played Holy Cross once.
So you want to hear a funny story? So I'm technically 5'10" and 7/8". So my freshman year, so the scouts would come in every year, and we'd have a little pro day at Holy Cross.
Pro day, yeah.
So I'd get my first year after my freshman year, I'm excited. I'm like, pro day, there's gonna be a whole bunch of scouts, just a couple, all right. And so they measure. You got to put your feet stand like a duck and just stand tall. And I had a lot more hair back then. Okay, so they measure me and like 5'10" and 7/8". I'm like, oh shit, man! It's 5'11" sounds good. 5'11", 200 pounds, running back.
Right.
That's that Walter Payton.
Yeah, exactly. So then next year comes after my sophomore year. I'm like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just stretch a little bit, just up like this. Okay, so the guy, you got to have your feet standing like this. They have it, and the guy, they raise you, and the guy just tapped my head. I was like, "Ow!" He's like 5'10", 7/8". I'm like, son of a bitch, man. my junior year, I'm like, this motherfucker. I'm saying I'm gonna get 5'11". I'm 1/8 of an inch. Come on, dude. It's not gonna be that difficult. So my junior year, I try to get up on my toes a little bit, just a tad, just to get that 1/4. And then the guy hit my head again. And bound, he's like 5'10" and 7/8". I'm like, you son of a bitch! 3 years in a row. My senior year, I was trying to get to the NFL, and I was like, okay, 5'11" looks much better. And he measures me. He's like 5. I was like 5'10" and 7/8". He's like, yeah. How did you know? I'm like, trust me, I know. 4 years in a row.
We just had this talk last night. I'm 6'2" and 7/8". So everyone's like, how tall are you? I'm like, oh, I'm 6'3". You gotta round up, man.
Yeah, especially at 1/8 of an inch. Come on, man.
Exactly.
And I'm telling you, I tried every trick in the book. My 4 years there to get that 1/8 of an inch, and it didn't happen. So that was nuts. Oh, that's crazy, man. Crazy.
It's a struggle for us short guys. Then they want to make me shorter. I'm not 5'3", jackass. Anyway,
just some ball busting. That's all.
This coach, he has these situations that come up because you were hired under the Andy Reid tree, and you see Frank Reich, you see Doug Peterson, and then we see our guy, Coach Nagy, and you don't see any sort of consistency on offense.
Nope.
So how concerning is that for you? And are you at the point of saying this guy's just got to focus on being the head coach and give the play calling to somebody else? Is that where you are?
Oh, I'm past that, dude. I am past that. When, again,
really?
It started with the Jordan Howard thing, and then every year it just got worse and worse. The one thing that I really hate about coaches, offensive coaches, and believe me, although I was a defensive coordinator, I played running back my entire career, okay? And the one thing that there's certain things you just don't get cute with, okay? If it's 3rd and 1, I don't need a double reverse flea flicker to attack eligible. Okay. All right.
So you didn't like the reverse call in the NFC Championship game to Devin Hester on 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2 it was?
No. You know, my thing is this. Yeah. You know, my thing is this, like you don't have a fullback, okay? And you need a fullback. Okay, and granted, he's not going to get you. There's not very many roster spots, but let's keep it real. You need a fullback.
I agree.
Okay, there's going to be situations where it's 3rd and 1, and we're in our 4-minute offense, and we got some joker on the other side who we know is going to come back and score if you give him the ball. I need my hogs and my fullback to lead away to get 1 yard. Okay, not beat someone to the edge. Not someone, trying to confuse people. I'm saying we're going right here. We're going to shove it down your goddamn throat, and you're not going to stop it. But we don't have an identity. So we're not a running team. A passing team, we can't really be a passing team because we got the revolving door over, and you call him the walrus over at left tackle. Okay, so we can't be a true passing team because the quarterback's scared. He's going to get blasted from behind. So we don't really have an identity.
See this, Shawn?
Oh, that's classic. That's classic, dude. That is classic.
I knew that was coming. I knew that.
Where was that? Connecticut Zoo or something?
No, he put that a Photoshop together.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought
I'm coaching up the walrus. I'm yelling at the walrus.
You're yelling at him.
I'm yelling at him.
I didn't even look in the background. I was like, how did you get a walrus in your house, dude? That's taking petting zoo to a whole nother level, dude.
Unfortunately, he's haunting my dreams. It's almost Halloween.
That walrus is 4'7", so it shows you how short Phil is. But Shawn, you talk about that, and you talk on these 3rd and shorts. One of the thing that fired me up the most, and I'm never gonna fault a head coach for going down the way that he wants to go down. If you're gonna default to being aggressive. But you have to go down with your best guys on the field. We saw versus Carolina on a 3rd and 2, critical crunch time play. Nagy pulls fucking Montgomery off the field for that, and to me that's 100% coaching malpractice. You put Patterson in the backfield. They ended up throwing the football there, which I wouldn't have done it myself, but if you're going to go down being aggressive, you're going to go down. But you have to agree, if you're going to do that, you have to have your best players on the field for that situation, correct?
You have to. Jimmy Graham, I saw him out a couple times on 3rd and short this past week. Like, listen, dude, here's some of the things that really bug me. Football is simple if you keep it that way, right? What happens is you get guys, and especially offensive gurus and geniuses, and they want to be the smartest guy in the room, and it really pisses me off. And sometimes it's just that you just need to keep it simple, okay? And what happened to an off tackle run or inside zone, okay, or fake inside zone and a tight end pop, or a tight end out, something to get your 1.5, 2 yards. That as soon as Jimmy Graham catches it, gets tackled, it doesn't matter, first down. Okay, that's the problem with this guy. He outthinks himself too much, and that's frustrating because he's trying to be the smartest guy in the goddamn room, and that's the thing that's going to be his demise.
I totally agree. It's frustrating to watch it on tape. When you really get to the root of the problems, they're so glaring on offense when that's your calling card. So you saw him at the end of the presser after the game, and he's making jokes, and you could see that he has some sort of rite of passage with the media. That they're even, I'm sorry to ask you this about the offense. What? You're sorry for what? He has a responsibility to get this offense corrected. He's never done it.
Phil, J.J. Stankovitz essentially admitted that to us when we had him on here, that they're...
Go ahead.
J.J. told Phil and I flat out, he goes, most of the time I have the question that I want to ask, I don't ask it, and then when I get home I regret it. And I'm like, what are you... That's your shot. I mean, these Zoom press conferences, they... I forget who the one guy was, but they came back to him a second time, and he's like, no, I already asked my one question. I'm good. I'm like, what are you doing?
One question?
What are you doing? You can't come up with another one to ask. And
They better not give me credentials. They
Yeah,
better not
exactly. That's give us.
And I'm telling you,
I'm trying to get
I'm trying to get credentials as well. And
we'll burn that Zoom meeting down. I'll tell you that.
Man, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, it's gonna be one. And I might not have those credentials for long, but damn it, I'm gonna ask the questions. Okay, coach, what were you thinking? You had a third one. Why didn't you try and smash it up the middle? Why not a tight end pop? What were you thinking? Why the double reverse tackle eligible pass? You know, just put his ass on blast. Because no one does that, and people are scared because this is a Bears town, and to have credentials for the Bears is something. Okay, and they don't want to lose their credentials. But you know what? You have a right, because this is what all the fans are asking. Why the hell are you running this stupid play on a 3rd and 1? Why are you going deep on 3rd and 1 when you need 1 or 2 yards? Give me a 5-yard out. Okay, move the chain. That's the whole thing. Keep the chains moving. Go long on 1st down. Go long on 2nd down. But don't take a shot on 3rd down. Okay, when you're not. First of all, you don't have this. You're not in sync. You're not in sync with these guys. This offense is not in sync, and you still want to have deep out routes and go routes and corners and digs. No, you can't do that. Keep the chains moving. Keep that defense on the field. Keep them tired. Win by attrition, and just keep doing it. That's all we wanted to do. Every level of football I played was I just want a 1st down. Just give me a 1st down. Just give me a 1st down. You get enough 1st downs. You give me enough 1st downs. You're in the end zone. So we don't need a 50-yard run. We don't need a 70-yard run. Give me 10. Give me 6. Give me 8. Give me 6. Give me 4. Give me 3. Give me 7. Give me 10. Boom. Keep it on. And this guy, he wants a big play. Why? I don't know. Football is simple if you keep it that way.
Listen, what do you say? I saw one of the fans. Well, he can't be that bad because the team is playing for him hard. He can't be that bad because they're 5-1. So what's your response? I know what my response is, but go ahead.
Yeah, he's horrible.
I'll
tell you why he's horrible.
There you go.
He's horrible, okay? And that's the bottom line. The team's not playing that bad. No, first of all, remember, they're professionals. They're playing for money. They're not playing for him, right? They're playing for the 600,000, the 800,000, the 2.5, the 6.8 million, whatever they're making. That's what they're playing for them and their teammates. They're not necessarily playing for him. Let's get that straight, okay? The bottom line is this. He's horrible because of his decisions. His decision making is god awful at times. Again, this goes back to the got to be the smartest guy in the room situation. Okay, and that bothers me. Why are you passing on 3rd and short when you're in a 4-minute offense trying to run the clock out? Why are you passing the God blessed ball? It doesn't make sense.
With your best offensive weapon on the sideline.
Why aren't you finding people who for running backs or anybody who catches the ball and steps out of bounds when you're in a 4-minute offense? Why aren't they being fined? Why aren't they being pulled? These are small things. These are what you call it, being held accountable. Okay, because you know what, you need the clock to keep running, so you slide your ass. Once you get the 1st down, you just slide, you give yourself up, keep the clock going. All these things that he does or that he doesn't do, these are things that are going to kick. They're going to come back and bite you in the ass when you face a good team, or when you get to the playoffs, they're going to bite you then. And it's not. And you know what? If you don't nip that in the bud now, we're going to be having the same conversation in the 1st round loss. Like, how did we lose? Well, because he ran out of bounds, or he got pushed out of bounds. The clock stopped. They had enough time to go downfield and kick a field goal, and we lost.
I totally agree. I mean, we didn't plan. Shane brought up the reality of Kyle Fuller, but that's the perfect example of someone being held accountable as a professional and looking himself in the mirror and changing course. Listen, nobody's story's written. I've said this. I'll say it again to the fan base. Charles Leno is an NFL football player. He's one of the best elite athletes, but he doesn't work at his craft. He doesn't care on the field. He's lazy. He lacks fundamentals and discipline, and it keeps being put out there. And who's responsible for that? The head fucking football coach. That's your job. That's your job to have them prepared. You can't come out in quads, go bunches, then all of a sudden now you're in the I formation. Now in the next play you're out of the I, you're in trips, empty set on 3rd and 1. There's nothing that coincides with what you're trying to do offensively. It's like, what are we going to do? Let's throw this. It's like you're playing a 13-year-old in Madden. It really is. It really is. They don't want to run the fucking ball. They're throwing every down. every down, and it's unfortunate because I really believe, listen, from watching the tape, I'm telling you, I really believe they did a disservice to Mitch Trubisky.
Oh, hell yeah.
They're doing a disservice to Nick Foles because he's not going to last. There's no fucking way this guy's going to stay because he's taking shots after Leno I call him, he's got a new nickname every week. Now he's Usher, the R&B. He's just ushering people back. He's like 7 o'clock on the dot. Hold on. Speaking of that, do you got it, Shane? Throw it up. Do we have that? Not that.
What do you want?
I thought I had the Usher. Here we go. This is hindering the running game. It's hindering the passing game and critical downs. You saw it today. Shane, that third down where he almost throws an interception and Mooney helps out.
17 seconds remaining. No timeouts for the Bears. Mooney, the intended receiver. It was deflected.
That's because Leno just ushered him in. 7 o'clock on the dot. Leno's in the drop top, just allowing him to fucking go, Usher. Usher, where's your seats? Get the flashlight. This is what we're dealing with here. This is what we do on this network. We keep it 100. I got my boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. SportsZone Chicago. He's always talking sports. I had the pleasure of coming on the show with you and my boy now. My boy.
You and Ivan?
Ivan too, but...
Oh, Kenneth.
Kenneth Davis, former running back with the Bills. I keep calling. Remember Kenneth Davis?
Number 23?
No, Ivan's great too. Ivan came on the show on our hype, and he was the first guy I felt like that brought the fucking Draft Dr. Phil hype. The notorious DDP. I'm getting nicknames. I like that one. Notorious DDP. I'm going to get a t-shirt. Chris Sandlin. I'm 5'6", 6.5", 5'7" on this day. What do you got? Call me 5'3". Now you got people believing that shit. I don't think I would have got a scholarship to play at Hofstra at 5'3".
Probably not unless you're a kicker.
Unless I was a kid. I was a punt returner and a receiver. But, yeah.
You're one of those 50 guys, huh? Those
yes. 60 That's why when I watch Anthony Miller, it gets me so... Listen, the kid has talent.
He's got what you want at that position. Yeah.
He just doesn't give a fuck about anybody but Anthony Miller. And those guys are good if they're Chad Johnson and they fucking work their craft. Because Chad only cared about Chad and Keyshawn only cared about Keyshawn. And we could go down the list. Ball. Yeah, give me the damn ball. That's fine. But know your fucking craft and be a fucking professional.
You're putting up 1,300 yards and 9 or 10 touchdowns every single year.
Exactly.
You're going to let some of that shit slide. But
Jimmy Johnson said it perfectly. He said, I treat everybody fairly on this team. I don't treat everybody equally.
Yeah.
And if you're with Emmitt Smith one time, he was in an interview and he said, no, if Emmitt Smith came in, if the 53rd guy came in late, I'd cut his ass. He goes, if Emmitt Smith came in late for curfew or he was out something, I said, Emmitt, don't do that again. You understand?
Yeah, all right, exactly. But that's the thing about this team. You make a great, you brought something up in my head. The best player on the team, number 50, Deuce, he is the first guy there, the hardest worker, the most effort ever. Nobody could question. I know Chicago can't have fucking nice things because you had all of these fucking haters, and I gave people the cheat code. I said, here's the breakdown of what Mac's really doing. Give it to your fucking shitty friend. Give it to the guy that doesn't give a fuck and is just going to run with the narrative. Give it to the media guy that's saying, where are the sacks? Where are the sacks? And then watch what he's doing in the run game and team play. Destroying blocking schemes. Helping out Akeem get solo blocked, for God's sake. Because he's so good. This kind of shit just drives me nuts. If your leader plays that hard, you would think that it would... shit goes downhill. You would think guys would fucking pick up their game, and this Chicago Bears defense, to me, that was a great showcase of what they've doing against Tampa. It's like these fucking Packer fans. The Bears beat Tampa, right? The Tampa beats the fuck out of the Packers. You can't stride your shit, wait till winter, wait till we're coming. You can't.
No, you just got your ass kicked.
You just got your fucking ass served. You got served. And it's fair game with this social media world. It drives me nuts. There's great things about it, and then there's shitty things about it because a lot of people don't know about the tape never lies. They stumble upon it. I saw the Italian dude from Canada just now. I didn't even know about you guys. Where have you been? Now he's finding out. This is what we do here. And that's why it's up to you guys to let everybody know about the Tape Never Lies Network. This is our live show, Keeping It 100. Are we keeping it 100 tonight with Shawn Sierra? I mean, Shawn is bringing it 100%. Chicago Sports Zone, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You do the same stuff, but you talk all Chicago sports, right?
All of them, baby. All of them. SportsZone Chicago. You can download the app, check it out. Google Play, iTunes, Amazon, wherever you get your apps from, download it, and you can check it out. We have a whole bunch of podcasts on there. We have a whole bunch of live shows. We have our live shows are really good too, and so we have one that's really cool. It's called the Humidor Podcast. We got a whole bunch of guys, like 4 guys or 5 guys, smoking stogies talking sports. I'm like, what better?
Oh, we got a guy like that on our.
I thought you were talking about Claudio for a second here. Hold on.
Yeah, we got a guy like that on our staff.
We're starting a show like
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Claudio might be welcome on that.
Hey, wait, I gotta come in
here. There he is.
What's up, Shawn?
The barber.
Yeah, that's me. Listen, I don't know why you're zooming.
I was giving you your. I was giving you.
No, I was just gonna give Shawn some props, man.
Oh, go ahead,
dude. You got the hype, man. You got the knowledge. Everybody in the chat room is loving you, man. You know, you brought it, and I just want to say, great job. Definitely.
I've been involved in 45 seasons of football. So yeah, I know a little bit, and I love football. There's nothing like it. It's the most it's the best sports because it's the most interdependent. I love it. You need everybody, and you know what? That's the only place where you got to rely on that fat kid that you didn't like with the lazy eye. Why? Because he's going to block for you to get a quarterback.
It's like going to war, right?
Dude, exactly. And I love it, and it's awesome. And I've been blessed to play this game for a long time and coach this game a long time, and meet a hell of a lot of good people, bro.
Yeah. Wow. So hey, listen. I don't know if you know, I'm 100% Italian. I hear obviously you were in Italy a long time. Can I get a give me cut it out with a good Italian accent. Let's get it.
Hold on, we'll get you closed up. We'll get them, let them singled up.
I don't know if you've seen the segment. Go ahead.
Cut it out. What are you doing?
There you go.
Azzo.
Claudio loves the azzo. Yes. What does azzo mean? What is it?
It just means what the hell.
What the hell? What the hell are you doing?
Hey. What are you doing?
Listen, Shawn, where can people find you on Twitter? You got social media. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you know what? I made it nice and easy for everybody. I got the same handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper. It's all one handle at the Shawn Sierra. THESHAWN SIERRA. You can check it out. You can find me anywhere. DM me, and I love to talk sports, dude. We're part of the generation, Phil, where I played baseball, football, basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
Summertime. Dude, summertime, let me tell you, my mom's gangster, bro. She's fucking gangster, okay? When I was in grammar school, okay, during summer, we used to play outside of St. Rita Grammar School and on the west side of the street because it's a 3-story building, so in the morning, there's shade into the street. So we were, okay? So, but before I could go out, my mom, she worked in Chicago Public Schools. I'd have 10 count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 fucking worksheets that I have to do every morning before I could go out. So we started playing football at 10. So it means I had to get up at like 8, 7:30, 8 o'clock every day in the summer so I could make sure I could be out there with the guys playing football. We play football, then we go to 7-Eleven, then we come back, we play lob, softball, then we go to 7-Eleven, then we come back and we play basketball, then we go to 7-Eleven, then we come back and we play fast pitch, then we go back, we play, all kinds, we play kill the guy. You know
Kill
what I
the
mean?
man with the ball. Kill the
guy.
man with the ball. You called it kill the guy?
Kill the guy.
Oh, man. I always
The
ask.
most important part of the game, did you ever take your best player off the field? Like our guy does.
Yeah, coach is like, hey, Shawn, we're running.
You go sit down.
It's a third and one to win the national championship. You're the league MVP. Here, come on out.
Yeah. Sit down next to me.
Let me put the backup in. He hasn't got much time this year. I want him to get a play in Florida.
When I first met Shawn, I saw him walking with and talking with his mom. I'm like, who is this guy? Because on the old network, I saw that someone went on the show with him. So then I started watching, and then I was like, oh, I like this dude because he's walking with his mom. And then we communicated with one, and we hit it right off. It's like we're family. Like, we think alike. We obviously share the same life upbringing almost, because that was my life. Claudio lived in my neighborhood. He could tell you it was football. You got off the bus, it's fucking tackle football up on this person's yard or this backyard, this park. It was football 24. Then baseball in the street. When it snowed out, it was football.
Phil was scared to play soccer. Phil, he
I'm like,
couldn't bring him with soccer.
I hate soccer. We had to play kill soccer, remember? Kill soccer. We would tackle. Anyway.
You know what we used to do in when I was in grammar school, was right before, so I was in 6th grade and 8th grade, we won the league championship. But what I would do is, we would talk about playing sports all my life. So me and one of my best friends, Joey Eichhorn, we'd always go, we'd just be in the basement. So we practiced. So when I realized that when basketball teams started keying on my right hand, I would have him. He's a couple years younger. I'd say, okay, I just dribble with my left, and like, all right, you guys steal the ball. So I'd work on that. And then I'm like, you know what? It was football season. I'm like, you know what? Let's try the up and over. Let's try the Walter Payton. So we would stack the freaking the cushions from his pillow, from his couch onto, and don't ask me why. So I'm dumping over these things onto a couch with no cushions.
Just landing on those springs. Like,
springs,
boom.
exactly. Oh, man. Yeah, it's good times, man. Great times growing up, dude. Great times. Sports.
Well, speaking of good times, it was so great to have you on the show with us. Killing it. The fans are loving it. Follow Shawn. If you're a 100 crew member, let him know. We're definitely going to have you back on. I'm going to jump on the show with you as well, again, over on your network, and keep it 100 on the tape. And good relationships. There's plenty of room for Bears talk when it's true Bears talk and true analysis and knowledgeable. There isn't a place for frauds. I just don't like how people misrepresent players that are giving their heart out and protect players that could give a shit. And I'll just throw two names. David Montgomery taking heat while Charles Leno is not even talked about in media sessions or anything, really. It's like it's taboo. And we're the only ones, and I've been saying it for 3 years now. So you keep it, exactly. Cherie, one of our top members here, also a Patreon subscriber to our Patreon network, she is calling you and appreciating your knowledge. I appreciate your knowledge. I appreciate your sense of humor. Big ups to you, Shawn, all around, right, Shane? Great stuff.
100%, man. Yeah, no, you brought that energy that we love here, Shawn. I mean, the 100 crew in the chat, they're all talking about it. So I think you gained a lot of fans tonight, and that's what this is all about. Like Phil said, what we do here, there's such a huge forum, and there's a lack of good Chicago Bears football talk that's truthful and honest. And I think that's what you bring. I think that's what we bring. And I think that's what everybody wants. So, man, thanks so much for coming on with us.
Hey, no problem. And I'm sober. Wait till I get a few beers with me. Then I start lining people up like, look, get over here. No, you stand right here. You stand right here. And he tried to cut inside. I'm telling you, I've done that to people in bars. I've done that to people and people who know me. Like, oh, he's been drinking. Okay, let's move over here because I don't want to be part of it. One of his demonstrations.
I'll have you know, man.
I don't want him to shoot at me.
When you come back, and we're gonna do your intro up real good, and you're gonna be 5'11", I promise you.
The
5'11".
Hey, could you say my college weight too?
Yeah.
He's Shawn Sierra, SportsZone Chicago, the finest. What a great dude. Just even watching you do, what is it called? CrossFit. And then talking with your mom, that stuff, just keeping it real. I love when people are vulnerable, but also passionate. That's what you are. We're going to have to bring you on. Like, people want you on, maybe on the post-game show.
We might. That could
bring
work
you
out.
There
If we're not
go.
doing remotes, because we might be doing remotes over here in Chicago. So
yeah, whatever.
So if we're not, then yeah, I'll be more than happy.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, brother. Thank you
so
much.
Hey, thank you for having me on, man. I had a blast. You guys are freaking awesome, dude. Freaking awesome. Sean. And anytime you want to, you talk football, my energy goes up. I could be dead tired going on, no hours of sleep for 3 days. You talk football, I'm there. I'm up. I'm hyped.
Nice.
Well,
love it.
Definitely follow the hype. The hype train is real with this guy. Love you, brother. Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Love you guys. You guys are the bomb. Deuces.
Ciao.
Ciao, bello. Ciao, eh.
Ciao, bello. Hey, I'm making a pizza. What a great guest.
Awesome. Fun, man.
Great
awesome.
Dude.
Could listen to him. He had rants. He had some rants going.
Yeah.
You could listen to those rants.
I got on the phone
Great
with him. He's like, Phil, I need to call you, just get to know you a little bit before you come on my show. And I'm sure. We're talking. You could tell right away. This guy is like family.
Nobody wants to tune into a show and listen to somebody that's not passionate. That's why I said when Shawn was on with us, you can feel it. You know that he lives it and he breathes it and he loves it, and that's the same way that we are here. So that's why it works, man. You listen to somebody like Dan Weeder, it used to drive me crazy. He's like, oh, the Bears are on the road this week. I got to go to Minnesota. And I'm like, you're going to Minnesota to cover a fucking football game, you asshole.
Exactly.
And you're going to whine about it. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm more of a casual fan. I don't know the game like you guys know it. But
no shit.
Listening to you guys talk, listening to you guys talk with Shawn, it's like you guys have like this your own language because you guys just what I mean. You're talking about football it's awesome, man. We're all learning. People in the chat room are learning. It's great. It's awesome stuff.
We got to bring Shawn back on again. Make him a regular.
There he is.
Great
I see him in the green room. Thumbs up.
He's still in the green room.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he wanted to stay on. I mean, did you want to stay on?
Hey, he's back.
I'm back.
5'11", Shawn Sierra is back.
He wanted to stay in the show.
Bring on Cars so he could tell him how he was wrong about Nagy.
Is
just
Cars
like
coming?
Spot, I've returned.
I just sent Cars the link. We can get that.
Maybe he is coming. So if you want to stick around, we got segments you could join us with. It'd be great.
Dude, I'm done for the night, Papa. I'm good. My guys are at the bar.
My God.
I'm gonna go meet them for 1, and then I gotta come back home. Gotta be in bed by 11. I got CrossFit tomorrow, so unless you're staying out till 11, I could stay with you. But
yeah, sometimes we do.
Hey, well,
Madon is right. This guy, look at Madon.
Oh,
you mean 11 tomorrow? I thought you meant tonight.
No. Yeah, 11 tonight. You're an hour ahead, so it's only gonna be 9 here.
Weird. We stay on. We keep going. We got all these segments. Is Cars coming?
Yeah, he is. He's got the link. He's playing dad right now. He's got his words were he's got an angry elf that he's trying to stuff back into bed. So he will be with us here shortly.
We can always switch this up around and get to a segment. Shane, do you want to do one of our segments? With Shawn.
Absolutely. Let's go.
Every week we do a segment. It's called Dyslexic Bear Down, and we go bear up, and is our positive bear. Our bear down is our negative player in the game. So we always do it. We go around like a fantasy league draft. Shawn, you're gonna give, and you're gonna be our guest. So I'm gonna put you up right here where Claudio is. You're gonna start us off. and then we go like a fantasy draft and a snake, and it'll go up to Shayne, and then he'll come back with his bear up, because we always end on the positive note, and we always start this segment with a bear up and a bear down, like that.
Phil Ottochian, Shayne Marsaw, the Tape Never Lies Network.
A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up, a bear down. It's Draft Dr. Phil and the smartest man around. A bear up.
This week, Draft Dr. Phil and Shayne Marsaw, the smartest man. Bear ups and bear downs of the week.
Oh yeah, bear up, bear down. Draft Dr. Phil, and Shayne is the smartest man around. He is the smartest man. The Tape Never Lies Network. Shawn, bear up this week. You're looking at a victory. We had a victory Monday. The Bears beating the Carolina Panthers. They're 5-1. Who was your bear down this week? We always start with our downs.
This is actually it's a tough one, but it's kind of an ironic. My bear down that I have to, but that's actually a good thing, is Jalen Johnson. He got burned a few times. He got taken to school a little bit by some receivers. DJ Moore. He got taken. But you know what? This is a learning experience for him. You know what? The thing. I would have liked to have seen him not get beat as much and not get too torched. But you know what? First of all, they won, so it's much better discussing it after a victory than a loss. But secondly, It's going to make him better. And when the thing that I like about him, and even though he got torched, you go against Mike Evans, and then last week against Robbie Anderson as well. All right, this dude never stops. He's still in your face. So even when he's down, he's still got that bravado. He's still got that. He's still coming at you, and that's saying a lot for a rookie, because sometimes you'll see in someone's body language, and that's what I look at, not what people say. I want to see his body language, and his body language is stuff. His is to the point where, all right, you got me that one, I'll get you next one. Trust me. And so, he did have a rough game, but I love his attitude. I love his skill set, but his attitude is what I really love. So he's going to be a lot more bear ups in the future, but he just kind of got his ass handed to him a little bit.
So this is what you have to end on. I forgot to tell you this part. You got to go. Jalen Johnson, you are my bear down. That's how you got to end it when you're done. Ready?
Putting him on the spot.
3, 2, 1.
Sorry, Janet Jackson. Jalen Johnson, you're my bear down.
There you go. That's the way the game is played. You could play the game in the chat with us. You just throw up your bear downs. For me,
should we bring in him Cars too on this? Or?
Is Cars coming in?
Here.
Is he
here?
He's
here. Yeah,
look at this. The first ever 5-man roster.
We can do it. Why not?
5-man weave.
I am the point guard probably in this team.
You are the Spud Webb, that's for sure.
You are not the center, Phil.
What up, Cars? What up?
What's going on?
This is our resident
Nerd alert!
There he is.
That's
our nerd
right.
alert. He usually gets a whole intro, but today we're going to keep it short, as myself would say. I'm always keeping it short, right? Here we go. Now the chain has moved, so Shawn went first. I got to move him there. Then I got to move this guy there. It's like Matt Nagy's playbook. Look at this. And then we're going to move this guy here. When they think they've got us, what we're going to do is do a double reverse. That's really going to fool them. That's the Matt Nagy way. I know Cars loves that. Anyway, my bear down this week, I've gone with the layup so many times. I think the thing that's most disgusting to me is the continued obvious use of Anthony Miller. I think not only the drops, but when you see it on the tape, as the tape doesn't lie, it never does. Anthony Miller walking around, not playing to the whistle, not helping out, but then to get upset and put it on yourself. If you've watched the tape never lies, Shawn, there's a play and Cole Kmet is running they're running that, waggle route and the tight end releases. He hits Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet has 3 guys on him, and Miller was open over the top of it. It would have been a tougher throw. It's going to be a first down. The quarterback, Anthony Miller, throwing his hands up, walking while Cole Kmet's getting tackled. That kind of stuff, there's no place for it. On top of his performance, which has been subpar, in this game, I get so fired up with it. Anthony Miller, you are my bear down. Claudio.
Oh, we're gonna zig. We're gonna go this way.
You're gonna zig and zag like
zig
the
and zag.
Matt Nagy playbook cars.
All right, so I mean, I think I'm gonna go with the refs again. I did it before a few weeks back. I mean, honestly, I gotta go with this bad. I mean, because they could have cost us a game. With some of these calls. Good thing we won the game, but some of these calls, and like Shawn was saying about the hits. I mean, it's like when every time you see a hit, it used to be like you see a hit and you're like, awesome. Now you're just waiting for the flag.
Right.
It's coming. And there's got to be something where there should be a review on some of these hits, because this is just not right. I mean, these dudes are doing everything they can, and like you're saying, you can't. It's physics, man. You can't stop your momentum. You're going in for a hit. The dude comes down and brings his head down, quarterback, anybody, and you hit him in the head. You can't stop that. So, these refs, I just think they're taking it too far. Not just in our game. It's all over the league, obviously. But it's just ridiculous. So, the refs, the zebras, whatever you want to call them, they're my bear down for this week.
There you go, Claude. Yeah, they were bad. The interference on Shawn's bear down, I thought was the most horrific call I've seen in a long time. I mean, it wasn't even close to being interference, and it hurts your team. These things are so important. So when I hear people say, oh, that's just football, it happens on both, that's not how this game is. Every chapter, every story is different, and that is something that should never happen. So the fact that it did, yeah, the refs were bad. The Fuller call, the fumble, the interference where Eddie Jackson, that one was questionable to returning it. So they were
no
terrible.
call on them when I forgot who it was.
And Allen Robinson.
And the dude climbed on his back. I thought he was giving him a piggyback ride.
Oh my God!
Ridiculous, and there was no flag.
You might see that and cut it out. You might see all that.
Oh, Claudio's giving teasers.
Little teaser.
Cars.
Tease me, baby. Tease me.
Cars keys.
What's going on? It's easy for me. It's Coward. He was terrible, especially if you're brought in to be the run game guard on the left-hand side. And one of the worst plays that you highlighted was the 3-yard loss play where, for a 350-pound dude, your inability to not get people on the ground is pretty appalling.
Other than himself.
He's very good and he was very good at tripping up Montgomery 1 or 2 times when he pulled as well. Didn't know his assignments. Phil, you highlighted one of the plays where
counter.
where Kemet is coming over and he's going after the wrong guy, right? Like,
which way do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go?
It's he was terrible. The play that will haunt me will forever be that 3-yard loss play where he just got destroyed from go. And I mean,
from Brown, right?
From Brown. I mean, he just knocked him silly, and I feel bad for David Montgomery because 60% of his yards are coming after contact, and it feels like half of that contact is coming behind the line of scrimmage, and it's because of guys like Coward. So Rashad Coward is my bear down.
Nice.
Good one. Real good one.
I totally see it. Totally.
I thought somebody was gonna take my guy. but nobody did. So I'm going to jump right in here. I'm going to stay on the offensive side of the ball. Surprise, surprise. Bear downs all over the offense, but it's a little known guy, but got to call him out. The Demetrius Harris project for me.
Oh, the drop.
It's time. It's time. They're drawing up plays for this guy to get him the ball, and he's dropping the football. And you invest number 43 overall in Cole Kmet. It's time. Olin Kreutz mentioned it on Twitter. He's like, when you watch the tape, he said the same thing. It's time. It's time. Put the kid in there and let him go. I've seen Demetrius Harris is going to be fine in even less of a reserve role, but to me, put the kid in there, let him grow, let him learn on the fly, because if I'm going to see drop balls, at least do it with the rookie and let him earn his stripes that way. I've seen, I think they've included Harris too much, single-handedly drawing up plays for this guy, and he's not coming through. I had a little bit more confidence in him initially, thought maybe he could do some things, but he's not living up to the hype that I had for him. So Demetrius Harris, you are my bear down.
Yeah, he was walking sometimes too. Plays.
Yeah, he's not alone. That goes back to what we've talked about.
That goes back to Cars' guy. We'll talk.
It's coming. It's coming. Everybody just waiting for the train to pull up.
I'm going to let Shawn and you talk about it. Maybe he could change your mind. Now, we play a little bit of the clip again, Shawn, just to give the old school hip-hop vibe a little bit back again. Bear up, bear down. We're going to go bear up, and that's our positive. As Cars pointed out, it's the dyslexic version on the first show of Keeping It 100, going the opposite way. I know we had a fan, Shane, right, complaining in the YouTube channel that
he was in the chats earlier. I think it's Alex H. I think is his name. Yeah,
Alex, he wanted to change our segment. He's complaining. What was it again, Shane?
He wanted to base it off the previous game.
Oh, he had a whole concept.
It was way too much work, deep. Alex.
I'm already cutting 40 minutes of tape, for God's sake. Please, I can't think like that. Anyway, Bear.
Ottochian, Shayne Marsaw, the Tape Never Lies Network.
Bear up! There you go. Bear up! Bear up. You like that? Super back. Feeling that beat? Mm-hmm. Yeah. There you go. Shane.
Look at me. I get to go twice in a row. This is very, very easy for me. This is a guy that I brought up before the games even started this year, that we needed to see that ascension. We needed to see big plays. We needed to see him be that foundational piece. And, man, 58, Roquan Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Was a
very
fucking
nice.
demon.
Very nice.
Yeah, he was everywhere, man.
That was a big boy game.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a guy that Roquan is so country, and he was out there. I think it was Raul Bennington was on Twitter earlier today talking about it. Roquan is so country when he talks trash. He puts thank you on it. At the end of it, he's like Rube from Major League 2. You're a great player and all, but the trade's coming through, butthead. That type of thing. But man, I still want to see a little bit more. That's how much I believe in this kid. I had Roquan in that draft. I had him in my top 4, I think, top 4 or 5 overall as a player in that draft, and he's so good. I mean, last year that he had so much going on off the field. Mentally, he didn't seem to be in it. But watching that game, my son is 9 years old, and we sat down. We were looking at some of the All-22, and then we watched the TV copy again. And, man, it was like eye candy watching Roquan run all over the place. It reminded
screenplay.
Yeah. Phil, it reminded me of going back in the day when Urlacher burst on the scene, that speed, that explosion. We haven't seen that from that position in a long time. And right now I think Roquan is starting to believe in Roquan, and I think that that's exactly what he needs. He's starting to take ownership. he's talking, he's leading, and he's got to be that guy because, as we've talked, Eddie Goldman is one of the most underrated players in this entire league, and you see how important he is to this defense. But Roquan stepping up is going to help there, and so Roquan Smith, man, you're my bear up.
Beautiful. Love it.
Hey, let me say something real quick.
Go
Wait
ahead.
till Eddie Goldman gets back.
I know,
till he
man.
gets back. If Roquan is doing what he's doing now, and that's what Bilal Nichols getting blown up a decent amount of times, wait till he has that run stopper, that anchor in the middle of the line. I mean, it's going to be. I mean, he just literally going to. He might make every single tackle unless it's a pass. He literally might make every single run tackle with Eddie Goldman in front of him.
And that's the best part. He's still only 23 years old. It's just like James Daniels. These guys are both 20 when they came out. So that's great for this franchise.
Yep.
You gotta love it. You gotta love Roquan. The screenplay for me, just watching it on tape, I put it in the Patreon version. It's just that's just
you can't
uncoachable.
Yeah, you can't.
He felt it. He saw it. He dips underneath this guy and gets to the and then he just came out and he flexed. And he's like, now that's the guy. That's like you, Shawn, coming on this show. You gotta have hype. You gotta be honest. That's what you need to do. This bullshit on the offensive side, someone has to wake up the echoes. I know there's a lot of Notre Dame fan. Wake up the echoes. So you got to start waking them up because what that is cobwebs in your brain. Nobody knows what they're doing. No one knows who to block. That fucking anyway.
Don't get me started on that counter.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that counter.
Oh my God.
I'd rather listen to nails on a chalkboard and watch that massacre of a counter. How do you not just hug that tackle and just
Dude, I pointed it out. I'm like, all you do is
anything in your way.
I thought of cars when I was breaking it down, and I swore for the first time for Chris Sandlin, one of our super fans. I said, you got to run right off the guard's ass and get in that gap and take. And then Komet would have got the sack. You would have had you had a play. They're always one mistake, one mental lapse, breakdown, or physical breakdown. They just can't do it. Anyway, Claudio.
We're going to me.
Are you?
All right.
Oh, Cars. Sorry.
Cars. Yeah, we're going.
Cars was next. I've snaked it. Sorry. Cars.
So, as we know, I love stats, so I'm going to show the guy who doesn't show up in the stat sheet whatsoever, but Robert Quinn and the impact that he's made on this defense.
I totally agree.
Especially that, I mean, you showed that play too, right? It's he knows even when a play's not designed for him, if it's designed to get somebody else free, right? He's going through and he's putting a hurt on people. And so I always hate the narrative of, we pay this guy to get numbers, we pay this guy to get sacks. No, we pay a guy to impact the offensive play calling. We pay him to get inside of a quarterback's head, and that's exactly what he's doing. If you watched early on, Okung was scared. Like, he was in his head. He was oversetting on protection. I mean, it was a great game, and I got giddy when we saw what was it, like the third or fourth play where it was Mack and Quinn on the same side.
Yeah,
and that was absolute giddiness at that. So what he's doing and how he's doing that, like, we have a legit guy now opposite, and so Robert Quinn is my bear up.
Nerd alert!
This nerd is killing it right there. I totally agree with you. I get so fired up, Shawn. These guys can tell you about people using money and stats. Those things don't matter in football. What does matter is exactly what Cars was saying. I got to get used to this TV. He was right, and I'm so proud of you, Cars. There's also one play when the Teddy Bridgewater play where he scrambles out of the pocket and he's going to score. Robert Quinn he's doing a loop stunt. So he went to the opposite side, then comes back all the way around, gives chase. He misses the tackle, and Danny Trevathan cleans it. But to your point, if that guy walks in there, what's the score? These little things that impact this great game, the greatest game in the world, where the fat kid matters and the kicker matters. and the coach matters, and the defensive coordinator, and the replay booth. Everybody matters. It's the ultimate team sport. Robert Quinn, great choice. Great choice.
When he did that's on that double twist, he still engaged. He had his man engaged while he went to the other guy. Some guys, if they're smart, what they'll do, they'll leave their man, the guy that's head up with him, and slant into the other guy, which leaves the guy he was on free to take the guy who's looping.
Exactly.
He didn't do that, so he held on to the guy who was directly across from him. He slanted and then took on the other guy, which freed up. I forgot who it was.
Bilal Nichols.
Bilal, and it freed Bilal up to do that. So that was, you talk about teamwork and doing it for the team. Yes, that's why. First of all, he's strong enough to do that, because if he wasn't strong enough, the other guy would have pushed him off and been able to recover on Bilal. But he hung on to him and attacked. So he basically took up two guys and allowed Bilal to get in there.
That's your wrestling background right there, right? Like, that's a guy who's good at fighting with his hands, knows how to, is not afraid of contact, right? He's just going to make it. He's going to do what he's got to do.
Anti-Leonard Floyd.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch him this week, isn't it?
The opposite
really
of Leonard Floyd. I know Leonard's going to be motivated.
Yeah,
you're playing against what
happens in true Chicago Bears fashion? He's going to go out and he'll have 4.5 sacks. We'll be like, bro, where the fuck was that?
Well, I mean, it's the first 8 games of the season.
It's going
That's when
against
he shows
Leno.
up, and then he just kind of
exactly.
dips afterwards.
Someone said something that was so great. I think it was on the YouTube. The immovable forward, or the movable force versus the whatever. It was great. Someone grabbed that for me. I think Sandlin could get it. Anyway, Claudio, your bear up.
Well, listen. I mean, we got the guy that played in Italy. You know, we were talking about soccer. I'm going with the kicker. The special team.
He took his
player
guy
of the week. Special team player of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I love me some Eddie Pinheiro. You know, he's a great dude. But, I mean, we got to stick with Santos. This dude is clutch. He's taking away that agita that we get, that you know what I mean, when a kick's going, I almost like I have the confidence now, you know, when he's going up there.
I did turn away. I was like, oh my God,
yeah, but I mean, you didn't have that, like, you know,
no, I had hope.
Miss.
There was a hope inside of me. There was fear and hope.
He kicked it, but we're not in bad weather yet. I'm reserving all judgment on that.
That was a big
November, December.
I think it was his 55-yarder. Was it
55?
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
He said.
Yeah,
so
that was,
you know, that was impressive. So, you know,
because at one point he was 6 for 16 from 40 and beyond. At one point.
That's the past.
Santos
We're living
was,
in the
yeah.
present.
Hey, we'll take it. Gotta follow
he's turning
it.
the corner.
Hey,
he wanted to eat, dude. He wanted to eat. I got a shot. All right, I got a shot. This is.
Yeah, I mean,
here's where you got to play Eminem.
He goes out and has a good game on Monday Night Football and just solidifies himself as the kicker in Chicago. Let's be honest.
Maybe we could trade Pinheiro for a tackle, an offensive tackle.
Yeah. my guy texted me during the game. He goes, Eddie might have lost his job. I'm like, Eddie, who?
Yeah.
I mean,
you keep hitting 55-yarders. We're good.
Yeah, the kicker, I think, it's a mental game. You know, I mean, I think
you're without a doubt.
You know, you're in a good state of mind. So, you know, even though his stats might have not been good, you know, in the past, but he's got the confidence. He's got that you know, mental thing going for him. So, Cairo Santos is my bear up this week.
Look at you, Shawn.
Sorry, Shawn.
You are the guest. I gave you
I got
down
first.
first.
I'm sure you'll come up with a good one.
I hope I don't steal yours, but for me, it's very simple. I was afraid someone was going to steal my guy, and it's number 23, Kyle Fuller. This guy is the consummate professional. I've said he's the top 2 corner. I'll challenge anybody in the film room to show me anything different for what he does from a physical standpoint, to a mirror standpoint, to a run the route for the receiver standpoint, for never being afraid. This guy, as Shawn eloquently said earlier, Vic Fangio challenged him in the public, in the media, something our coach needs to do to some of these players. It's enough friends. You got enough friends on your fucking phone that know that you're a millionaire coach. Let's start holding players accountable to make them play better. Look what it's done for Kyle Fuller. He is the lynch. I mean, for me right now, it's Mack and Fuller. Those are, everyone talks Eddie Jackson. For me, Fuller sets the tone. He's did it against Tampa. He did it again this weekend. He's really, really special. And I think maybe that number in Chicago is very special with Jordan and Hester and now Kyle Fuller. Hopefully, what's that?
Sandberg.
Ryan Sandberg, right? See,
Yep.
I know
Nobody cares about the Cubs. It's fine.
I'm a Sox fan, but game recognizes game.
Yeah,
game recognizes
there you go.
game.
I respect that. Yeah, I think I want to get my son a Kyle Fuller jersey. That's how much I love this guy. So Kyle Fuller, you are my bear up this week. And it goes back to you to end this segment. Shawn Sierra, Chicago Sports Zone.
No, SportsZone Chicago.
SportsZone Chicago. I'm dyslexic. They keep joking
This is
with
the
me.
segment. This is the segment.
It's my segment.
So since Claudio took my first pick, my first round draft pick in Cairo Santos, and then you took my second one in
there you go.
Fuller. Yeah. So I'll go a little deeper in the secondary, and I'll go Eddie Jackson. That was a bullshit call on the interference. That was another pick six. And Eddie Jackson's the kind of guy who literally can change the game in a heartbeat. And you know what he does? That he gets those guys hyped from the back. I haven't seen it. We haven't had a safety who's that dialed in on an offense since Mike Brown. And this guy, you can tell how much film study this guy does because he's always around the ball. And so for me, Eddie Jackson, you are my bear up.
Look at that. What a round this has been. We got our boy Cars coming in a little bit late. I know parenting, everything like that. He's typing away to Dustin, I think. I don't know.
No, our support group is after this. Don't worry about that.
A great segment there. Everyone, really, I think, even in the chat, I know there was a few we should give some recognition this week to DHC, who continues to close out these games. There's something about this kid. There's always one of these fabric players that Shane calls.
Did you see the Akeem Hicks quote on him on DHC?
No, I did
not. What did he say?
Yeah, he spoke on him, and he said there's not a more prepared, there's not a harder working guy in practice than Houston Carson. I mean, that you're talking about let's be honest, at one point, Philadelphia tried signing him off the Bears practice squad at one point. That was the reason that the Bears brought him up. So he was an end of the roster guy. And I mean, for one of your lead dogs to single him out, and I actually was bagging on the kid a little bit 2 games ago because he was out there getting reps, and then he ran the route for the receiver in the Tampa game and ended the game. And then you see him go out there and do this, and I mean, he was a hell of a player in college. He made plays. Yeah. He was actually a peanut punch type of guy, in college. Made plays, blocked a lot of punts too. Yeah.
What is it, William and Mary? Am I remembering correctly?
Yeah.
William and Mary. Look at that.
Phil, this speaks to what we're talking about. Cars, you and I even had this conversation when it comes to left tackle. You can't sit here and tell me for sure that if you put in, you go to Arlington Hambright and you say, kid, here's your shot. Left tackle, Monday Night Football, get out there and make me proud. You don't know how he's going to react.
Exactly.
I mean, is it going to be worse? Who knows?
Why don't you just say, hey, listen, here's your one shot. If you screw up, you're cut. There's a crazy idea.
Yeah, imagine that.
Let a fire under his ass. And so you know what? And you know what? Pressure makes diamonds. So you know what? You're going to sink or swim, and we're going to find out right now on Monday Night Football. And because you're going to end up coming around Aaron Donald, he's going to do a twist at some particular point of the game. All right, he's going to come. He's going to go outside, and so we're going to see what you're made of. So you better be ready. And here it is. Here's your shot, and that's it. And you know what? Put it on him right there.
Here's the conversation with the incumbent right here.
Stay up, he's saying. Stay up on your feet.
Stay on your feet. Stay low with a flat back. Fire out. Show some pride. I am coaching him during the game. I'm like, I talk to offensive line coaches in high school. I talk in college and pro. All of them can't believe that that's what you're putting out there at left tackle, especially with Foles, who's been known to be injured and in critical situations.
Yep.
Matt Nagy doesn't give him any help. Like, we know he's bad or what. Can you just fucking chip for him to help him? Nope. 3rd and 7. Big, we need a fucking drive. Charles has it all, but no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. It drives me. And, of course, we're going to be on Monday night, and they're going to trot Charles Leno out there. He's going to have 2 false starts, 1 hold, and everybody's going to be DMing. My fucking DM box is going to be lit up because everybody thinks of me every time they hear this fucking guy, the Walrus, Speed Bump
Phil,
Charlie.
here's your the quote that you butchered pretty bad here a couple of minutes ago from social media extraordinaire Chris Sandlin sent it to us, and here's what you were talking about.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Unstoppable force meets the movable object.
Unstoppable force. Hofstra University, man. That shit's
I need
coming
my
out there.
glasses. I can't. I'm trying to find glasses that I could wear that won't reflect back because I need reading glasses. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, that's a lens, so there's gonna be reflection. There's
like a TV light for like people on television. I swear.
Uh-oh.
They're expensive though, so I'm trying to find a pair. Anyway.
Listen, before Shawn leaves, this chat room has been talking about this Bills guard that was released, Quentin Spain.
So there we go.
You guys want to just touch on that? And
You gotta try. You gotta try. The Bears were interested in him before. At one point, around when he was coming out in the draft, I know there was some talk, and everybody had, meetings leading up to the draft. So that was a guy that the Bears were looking at. He signed a 3-year extension, I believe, just this offseason.
Correct.
With Buffalo. But, I mean, your offensive line is in shambles so much. If the Bears do not reach out to Spain and his representatives, it's a huge check mark on Ryan Pace's forehead. I mean, he's running out of spots up there for these check marks. Let's be honest.
I need to call Spain and have some tapas brought in here so we can some jamon serrano, some manchego cheese, some tostones. What's this? I think I need to parody that song. Let's get Leno physical.
Yeah, you
right?
got to, because
every
time we play that, we get copyright infringement.
Those guys is Nagy the one holding his feet? Nagy the one holding his feet? Is he the one going like
Nagy
this?
never holds anyone's feet by the fire. It's got to be something.
He's the one praising them? Like this is praising them?
No, so I mean, Spain is a pass blocking guard. He's not much of a run blocker. So, we have to take that now. Supposedly Coward is supposed to be a run blocking guard, and he is a
hey, we'll take him.
Hey, listen, we throw the ball 43 times in a game. We need a pass blocker too inside.
Absolutely. So I mean, but that's what that just sets us up for that. So I think he's definitely in play, but that's who that guy is. That's a pass blocking guard.
Well, what the hell happened with Alex Bars? Okay, you put him in.
Don't get me started there.
So he had a.
How did he lose his job? He was held accountable for 2 plays.
2 plays, and then you don't hear about him the rest of the game, which is a great thing when you don't hear about offense. You don't hear an offensive lineman's name, and then now the Project Coward starts again. I don't understand what it is. Is he mad because he's a Notre Dame guy and he stands, or what's the issue? Because I think you need a run guard first, because that's your run game. Your 2 guards in your center is the run game. The tackles, they're not your run game. The run game is the 2 guards in the center, and they need to shore that up and tighten that up, because then we won't have David Montgomery breaking tackles 3.5 yards deep in the backfield. Okay, he'll be breaking tackle. He'll be getting to the second, even third level before he's got to deal with somebody. So you better get Bars in there, and because he's got a nasty disposition. And last time I checked, and all the offensive linemen I played with, give me a guy who's a nasty son of a bitch who likes to move people.
Exactly. How?
I wish
how
that
good?
Whitehair would step up, though.
Well,
That's my big takeaway.
he's
too.
been
It's not
he's definitely taken a step back.
Yeah.
And that was my guy.
I mean, he looked it, and he looks to me like he's just not comfortable at all in the center position. Like right now, we need pulling guards, and something that Ifedi's not been very good at. It's not something that Coward has been very
on,
good at.
and I know this shouldn't matter where you want to play, but Cody Whitehair is on record calling himself a guard, saying he's most comfortable playing left guard. He said that multiple times, but this is something that we've seen so often in Chicago, and it's not just from this coaching staff. I mean, it goes back to when Kyle Long got here. Every fucking year, they're flip-flop. They're putting them all up and down the line. Cody Whitehair, they've done it. I mean, you're seeing it with a backup like Coward. They're filling these guys in everywhere. James Daniels flip-flopped, and that's an issue, Phil.
That's an issue.
You have to let these guys settle into a spot. And I mean, you're paying Cody Whitehair to be one of the best players at his position. He
was a great center on tape, honestly.
Yeah, he was.
When Jordan Howard was here, this motherfucker was taking linemen and throwing them around. Now, he had a kid. They all have lives. I get it. But the reality is, you can't, Shawn, you can't run stretch and inside zone and have your center getting pushed back or standing straight. All of a sudden, that's the whole concept, is the center has to get a little bubble. You got to create a bubble. And that's when your running back can read. It's all about that. Exactly. So
find a lane.
It's amazing what happens if your blockers are on the other side of the line of scrimmage engaged in someone instead of on the ground 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's amazing what happens.
When fans are DMing me, telling me Jay Hood is on ESPN talking like David Montgomery is a bust. Yeah. He can't read a hole. He sucks. And hundreds of thousands of people in the city are believing that. That shit is negligent on that kid.
Yeah, that's Madden philosophy. That's what that is. It's Madden philosophy, man. They
how
go there
good
and they
is
look
this
at
kid?
Oh.
Dude, how good is this running back? Is so good. Just like Jordan Howard. Me and Shane led the parade.
I'll guarantee you, if we had Jay Hood on this show, he would sit down and tell you that Tariq Cohen is a better running back than David Montgomery. I guarantee it. And it's based on one thing. It's based on speed, and that's it. And that's people fall into this trap all the time, Phil. We know it. It's like when we were talking about Khalil Mack. They look in the box score. Oh, Mack didn't have a sack today. He fucking sucks. It's ridiculous.
He didn't have 3 sacks today? Fire him. Cut him.
Yeah, get out of here.
Redo that contract.
Montgomery sucks.
Yeah, I was going to put that up.
The unapologetic truth. This is the kind of stuff.
Here's the problem, like, when you and I talk, Phil, like I told you, like, I can't have conversations with people like that. Like, I'll look at them and just give them that look like, you're serious? Okay, I need to go because I've lost enough brain cells playing football. I don't need to talk to you.
Well, it's just like the Mac guy. The Mac, people saying Mac is overrated because they're looking at stats. That's what they're looking at.
Yeah. Obviously they're not stats. Obviously, they're not looking at the people horse collaring Khalil Mack or grabbing him around the waist or his arm.
Yeah.
They're not.
But I'll tell you what, you go into all of our wins, Montgomery made at least 1-2 huge plays to win us those games. So
he's taken contact behind the line of scrimmage more often than he is across the line of scrimmage.
What was the stat, Cars, for him? 0.2 yards before contact. 0.2.
Oh, that right there should be the unapologetic truth. Ken Schaefer, look at this quote. This is why he loves this network. You tell it like it is with proper now. That's why Shawn fits right in here, because you keep it 100. That's why we titled this show what it was. The reality is, let's look at this. I want to say one last thing about David Montgomery, then we'll move on. There's an ability to be a great runner and be an instinctive athlete. Then there's an ability to be physical in contact. And then there's an ability to keep your balance. These things that Walter Payton had, this kid has. What he doesn't have is the blazing speed, like Shane said, and neither did the greatest to ever tote the rock.
And that's completely overrated. I mean, if we're being honest, everybody's like, "Oh, he can't."
You see that catch?
He doesn't have a 60-yard touchdown run. Who does? Who does?
He catches the ball.
Oh man!
Outside his body and is preparing to spin in contact because he's so prepared athletically.
When that happened,
that play should never ever be overlooked. That was the best play of the game.
Tweet immediately when that happened, and I said, "Bears fans, mark it down. That's one of the most underrated plays that you'll see in this game, no matter what." Yeah, I said I'll bring it up and show it to you.
You know, if you look at the greatest who ever did it, you know, Walter Payton, he was, I think he was like a 4'6" guy. Okay. Emmitt Smith, he was a 4'6", 4'7" guy. Okay. I mean, granted, he had the Great Wall of China in front of him.
I
But
could
that's
have
another
run
story.
behind that line for 2,000 yards behind Eric Williams and Larry Allen. Like that.
Yeah, but you probably would have got caught a lot sooner than Aaron Smith.
Nate Newton.
Yeah. But hey, let's not get it twisted. When Emmett got in the secondary, very rarely did he get caught. Very rarely did he get caught. And he only ran a 4'6".
Did you say Nate Newton?
Smoke weed every day.
I mean, just because you're caught in a minivan with like 300 pounds of weed, if you want to,
you're gonna go down. You go down swinging with the whole fucking plantation.
We go aggressive here.
Him and Carlos Stepan Loaiza. Put out big, baby.
Yeah.
Listen, become a Patreon subscriber. Go over to the Patreon channel. Shane, put that. I think it's, where is it, Shane? Get it up there, or Claudio. You want to see what David Montgomery is dealing with? All you have to do is go to www.thetapeneverlies.com, sign up. You're going to get advanced, in-depth. Today, Shane knows, I put 16 hours of work into editing 40 minutes of coaching analysis. Stuff that you don't get anywhere else. You've seen it on our YouTube page. That's the condensed version. I think it was 17 minutes. Think about 40. Go over there. Check us out. We're going to be doing live shows, pop-up shows, Q&As, all of this stuff that we got planned. Former NFL coaches coming on to break down tape. All this stuff that's going to happen. And we got cars, and we're going to have other guests coming on breaking down the draft like nobody else out there. I'm sure Shawn will be back with us talking draft, free agency, you name it. We're all about football. There's no other talk there. On this show, I can talk about Netflix. I'm going to talk about a great movie that you might want, and we're going to talk. Claudio's going to talk about his favorite strand of weed. That's what this is. Keeping it 100. Claudio the barber.
Wait, let me just put this up real quick.
Wait a minute.
Let me put this up real quick. Listen, I think.
Oh my God! I think you just
listen. Hold on. You got to change your name from unapologetic truth to unintelligent truth, bro. Okay, with shit like this. All right.
Well, it's calling out the fan.
I'm sorry, dude.
I think you're in the wrong network, buddy. I think there's another one.
This is called The Tape. You're talking. We already discussed that. It's unbelievable the ignorance when it comes to stats versus situations and tape breakdown. That's going to tell you the truth. I don't give a shit if it was Ezekiel Elliott or whoever you think is the best back in the NFL in the Bears backfield right now. They are going to be struggling as well. It is a problem. It is a huge problem, and it has me fired up. Don't blame it on David Montgomery.
Phil,
Change that narrative.
Real quick, the Bears are going to be trying out an offensive guard, and we have video of him.
Let's see.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Hey, if that sucker can move people,
that's right.
I had some offensive linemen with belly just like that. They can move motherfuckers, and that's what I'm talking about. Hey, you get on that 45-degree track, anything in your way gets taken up.
Oh, yeah, it gets taken up all the time, every week. Are we moving on to the next segment, Shane?
Let's do it.
before we do, let's remind people of this. Where you can find this show. We got to take care of some business. Every week, after every Bears game, this show, Bears Hour Live, every week. So no matter what day, it could be Thursday night game, Shane's staying up late. It could be Monday night game, Shane's staying up late. He's getting up early to deliver the mail. But this Monday night will be live immediately after the final whistle blows on Bears Hour Live.
It's the best Chicago Bears postgame show on the planet. Bar none, it's Bears Hour Live immediately after each and every Bears game. With host Shane, the smartest man, and draft Dr. Phil Ottochian. Every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, immediately after Bears games. Your guys, Draft Dr. Phil and Shane Marsaw are live on Bears Hour Live. Subscribe to the show via the Tape Never Lies Network, which can be found on YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch. It's the best Chicago Bears postgame show on the planet. Bears Hour Live.
Oh, shit! Oh, yeah, it's Bears Hour Live immediately after every Bears game. We've seen the numbers don't lie there. We're so proud of you guys joining us. We were going to put that show behind the Patreon wall, but you guys spoke up, showed us, hey, we want this here, so we are going to be there right after Rams Bears Monday night. Real quick, one other promo. Our guys, we're broadcasting here. This show, Keepin' It 100, is sponsored by Shy City Sports, and my boys over there, they have a podcast, the Bearfront Podcast. Go check them out, ShyCitySports.com. Steven and Nick, they do it right. That's good dudes here.
Shy City Sports.
Hey, it's Steven.
And Nick from the Bearfront Podcast from ShyCitySports.com.
Every week, join us for in-depth Bears talk as we break down the matchups ahead of each week's game.
And join us following every game for what we saw and what we wish we had seen on the Hurry Up Recap.
So subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and stay tuned to ShyCitySports.com for the latest from the Bearfront Podcast. And now, back to Keepin' It 100 with Draft Dr. Phil Ottochian and Shane, the smartest man Marsaw.
Shy City Sports, Bearfront Podcast.
Oh, you gotta love it. Those guys
Did
are
you get
great.
a permission slip to speak on a not normal podcast evening? Was that, did we have to get proper permission, or how does that go exactly?
Was he off the hayride? Was he on the hayride? Yes.
Just curious.
He was. He's gonna come back on our show too because he wants to.
Yeah, we're working behind the scenes with his wife to see when we can make that happen.
All right, Claudio, you gotta set up our next segment.
Yes,
you have it.
Sir. I'm getting there. I just want to get the time in down here. Yeah.
Well, every week Shane Marsaw scours the internet. Some of you, this is your favorite part of our show. It really is something special because Shane is always not only delivering the mail and delivering nuggets of wisdom, but he's also showcasing what people should and shouldn't do when it comes to Twitter. This is called Dumbest Tweets of the Week. And here.
Dumbest Tweets of the Week.
Claudio, you got that music for me?
Got it? You hear it?
No.
Nope.
Nope.
We don't hear it. Did you check the box?
Yep.
There we go.
Rewind
it back. Little programming issue. He's still learning. He's a new producer. So, Shawn, every week we do a little poem for each part. Shane's going to give a dumb tweet. And then he's going to give a positive tweet, and we're going to react to these dumb tweets. Are you ready for my poem?
I'm ready for your poem.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Charles Leno says, which way did he go, yeah?
He's the smartest man. On white hair, on coward, on Leno, Affetti, and Massey. Can someone block somebody? Because our QB's fucking tired of getting knocked on his assy. He's the smartest man, and this is his dumbest tweet of the week. Shit. Oh, the fade would have been good, Claude. You would have did it perfect.
I was going for the fade, and I clicked.
Claude was so close, and then he went all melee on us and said the wrong fucking show.
Che cosa, oh yeah. Che cosa,
Vaffanculo.
Che cosa, ragazzo,
Well, when there's dumb tweets, one person comes to mind, but this is a two-banger here on one tweet. So I'm going to pop it up here. You want to take those comments down. Michael Kist, at Michael Kist NFL. There isn't a bigger paper tiger than the 5-1 Chicago Bears. There may have never been a bigger 5-1 paper tiger in history. This thing is going to crash and crash soon. And then everybody's favorite Peter Bukowski chimed in. Peter Bukowski, who will be live on air with Phil and I on Packers Week. So that's going to be a bunch of fun. Yeah. Well, it's tentatively.
I'll believe it when I see it.
He's agreed. We've been down this road before with Peter.
He might get something in his eye.
He could play for Matt Nagy. No accountability. But anyways, Peter Bukowski replied to that tweet and said, you can keep the comments off there, Claude. There you go.
I'm not doing it.
That was me. Sorry.
Okay.
That was funny.
Look at their schedule. Winter is coming.
Oh my God.
What I will never understand is these bloggers, fanboys, whatever you want to call them. I understand everybody's got their favorite team, but
D-bags.
Yeah, exactly. Peter Bukowski just got done watching Tampa Bay boat race his team, Green Bay. And the first fucking thing that he does is runs to Twitter to comment on Chicago. Why?
Because he just got his ass handed to him and he has nothing else to say.
Exactly.
How could you, though?
That's what I said, and I'll repeat myself here again. Everybody that wants to bag on Chicago, you better pray to the football gods that they don't figure out their offense. Because if they do, everybody's in fucking trouble in this league. And that includes everybody up top. If they figure it out, have fucking fun. That's all I'm going to say. So Peter Bukowski and Michael Kist, dumbest tweets of the week.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Shane, the Bears are up on top. Ain't too many other teams on top of the Bears. Ain't too many teams, and those teams better watch it too. So whoever's undefeated, because we get a chance to take out one of those undefeated teams in a couple weeks down in Trashville or Smashville, depending on how you look at it.
Yep.
We can take out one of those teams. I'm a little concerned, but we still have that chance. If that offense gets it figured out, man.
Hey, you punch one team in the mouth that's up on top, it sends a message to the entire NFL.
It does.
You can sit there and say whatever you want to say about Chicago, their offense, their woes there. If Nick Foles gets hot, we've seen it before. What can happen? They got to get the shit settled on the offensive line. I mean, you have to have some semblance of a running game to make this work. But like I said, if they go out there and figure shit out and they have that defense backing them up, there's going to be a lot of teams that are in trouble. And not a lot of these teams are going to want to face a Chicago Bears team if they figure it out on the other side of the ball. So,
Claudia,
you
still have to play the music for the second part.
I got you. All right,
I was trying to text you, but you didn't see it.
No, my phone's off, so I didn't see it.
I'm keeping it 100 in front of everyone.
Good.
Steph is learning his new role. I love it, though. So share that up. But I want to say this. It's always used in cliche in regards to defense wins championships. And the reality is defenses travel no matter where they go. So when bullshitter, fanboy, blog boy fucks talk shit that have never put a pair of fucking helmet or cleats on and are talking from a place where you just got your ass, like that's like me during football season missing a Bears game to go see the new Marvel movie. That ain't happening with me. I'll never miss a Bears game. I can't even miss a play. So these types of guys that They just got boat raced, to use your term, which I love, and you're going on Twitter to talk shit to Bears? I mean, that's ridiculous. Paper tiger. We'll see. We'll see. I always concern myself with the offense. There's no doubt about it, but
they need to do. Those people need to go back, do some meth, and kiss their cousin back there in West Green Bay. All right, we good. We don't need to hear about you anymore.
It was a lovely sight to see that score.
It was even better watching it.
Aaron was whining. I took my sons to a haunted house, and I had it on my phone, just seeing him cry, complain to the ref. Turn it up a little bit, Claude. Here we go. Part 2. We're gonna do the positive tweet.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Claude putting in the Charles Leno type effort with his new job, yeah.
Oh, let me fall down.
He's the smartest man. He's the man who helped get redemption for Bob Marley. And like everyone on this show, they aren't soft like fucking Speed Bump Charlie. He's the smartest man, and this is his best tweet of the week. Oh, there's the fade. Look at him. He stepped up.
He's learning.
Stepping up.
Stepped up
Hey,
like bars.
You held him accountable.
That's right. You gotta call him out.
It happened live on the air.
Results.
Accountability.
Take down the comment there, so I can put this tweet up so everybody can see it.
Get rid of the There you go.
So here we go. Friend of the show, Dustin Reagan Padilla.
Look at him. He's making a tweet
I
of the
love his
week.
Twitter handle.
Yeah, if you guys want to follow him, you can follow him at Cars is my dad. But
He gets a raise in his allowance for this one, that's for sure.
this is a real thing here, guys. This can actually happen in the NFC East. 4-12, 4-12, 4-12, 3-12-1. The Giants, by default, would win the division championship because they went 4-2 in the division at 4-12.
Oh my God!
I don't see a problem with that at all. I think that's exactly what the NFL
Can you imagine
wanted.
this? Can you imagine the scene in the locker room when they're handing out the division champs gear? Here's your hat. You guys just finish off your 4-12 campaign and you're putting on your division champs hat.
I think it legally has to be like least sucky team of the NFC East. It can't even be division champs. It's like we sucked a little less ass than everybody else.
The least, the NFC least, exactly. Holy shit, that is amazing.
It is. It really is.
I've been saying for a long time, though. I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I think they should get rid of divisions. Just do AFC, NFC. The top teams go to the playoffs.
They've been talking about that. They've been talking about that. If this happens, this is going to spur that.
Oh, I agree there.
How many teams you thinking, though, Claudio? How many teams you thinking, bro? Because you're going to need
same amount of playoff teams. Same thing.
Okay.
You just go the records. The best. In the conference.
Just take the top 7 in each conference.
Even though,
yeah.
Listen, it happens almost every year. It might be only one game difference or something, but there's always a team that has a better record at second place in a division. That's better.
Yeah, the Bears played the Seahawks in the playoffs that one year. They were 8-8.
Yeah.
And I mean, that was everybody's like, holy shit, these guys are 500. They're in the playoffs. Can you imagine facing a 4-12 team in the NFL playoffs?
Yeah, that might not be realistic 4-12, but it could be real at 7-9. I mean, even 7-9.
Oh, you've seen it.
We've seen 7-9.
Yeah, the Bears have missed the playoffs multiple times at 10-6.
Yeah,
that's fucking ridiculous. There is Cars is correct. There will be some validity to a discussion beyond with these fucking billionaire owners. If 4-12, and imagine being, a tight race in another, conference, and you are a fucking 10-win team, and 4-12 is getting in over you.
You got to watch Mike McCarthy on the sideline for a playoff game. Oh man, that would just be glorious.
You talk about a bad situation. That Arizona game. Arizona's trying to run the friggin' ball just to end the game, third down, and Kenyon Drake, what was it? I don't know, 69 or 79 yards untouched on third down. I said, boy, if that doesn't show you a lot about that team, holy cow.
It would really put the NFL on notice because of not only the fans, but the teams that are working that hard to get to 10 wins, 9 wins, whatever it is, to be overlooked for a team that's 4 wins. That would be honestly disgusting at this point. I never thought I'd live to see the day that this happened, but it goes back real quick. It makes me think of this conversation that I had with my dad. It's like, and Shawn mentioned it tonight, we're starting to become pussified. Like, we can't be physical, we can't hit, we can't have... Think about the Bears. They didn't have a fucking practice. They had fucking 6 walkthroughs with Foles. It's like, how is this even possible when you're playing a sport?
I don't even think it was 6, was it? Wasn't it like 3?
It was 3. So they had he had 3 padded practices between the Falcons game and the Bucks game. So between 2 games, and none of them came before the Bucks because they were recovering off of a 3-day week.
I told my buddy, it's like you being an IT guy and you go to work, you got no computers. You just sit there. Don't worry. We'll come back tomorrow. We'll have a computer on Friday. That'll be game day tech talk. It's like, how do you do that? This is the game. You got to go out there. You got to put your pads on. You got to go live. You got to do teamwork and go be physical because Sundays are what it is. So I think the CBA and how this union is structured and fought and the money and this and that, at some point we got to get a little bit back to football and get rid of some of this. Let's give everybody a fucking award. Let's now stretch that into the NFL, and we can't touch a quarterback a certain way. Like, we've been fucked out of that. Yeah, defenseless receivers who weren't defenseless. To Claudio's point, the college game, they're reviewing these illegal headshots. You need to do that in the NFL if the games are so critical. Yes.
XFL's Sky Judge should have been implemented years ago.
Oh my God.
It's
if me, you, Shawn, Shayne, fucking Thunder Girl in the chat, Cherie, Dan Rodriguez in the chat, if they could see it, Mo Bierman, they could see it at home. How can we not have somebody in the box, in the booth with all those HD, or now it's fucking 4K TVs? They can make the call and correct it.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
no, they can't.
Yeah, you have the head guy out there, Phil, seeing it in 4K. The whole world is seeing it, and he's explaining it to you with something that didn't happen in Pereira. He's like, you see right here. I mean,
you see, he led with his shoulder into the neck area, and then
do you remember?
No, they gotta hire people. They can't hire the guys from PFF. They can't. They can't hire these fucking kids out of college.
Remember the Zach Miller touchdown when he blew out his knee down in New Orleans?
Oh yeah. They called it the fucking Magruder film.
Yeah, who was the head official guy at the time?
Isn't
they
he
ended
still?
up replacing him. No, they ended up.
Did they
reassign him?
What's his name?
Al
Riveron.
Yeah, hello everybody. This is Al Riveron.
This is Al Riveron.
Yeah, and he did the same thing. He was taking you through frame by frame, and he's like, "You see right there, the ball clearly came loose. You couldn't see anything."
Back and to the left.
It was the Seinfeld episode with Keith Hernandez.
That was one magic loogie, I'll tell you.
Like, I don't give a fuck that he smokes weed. They all smoke weed.
Smoke weed every day.
We found the one thing Claudio's good at.
Is it ever going to get old?
It's never going to get old. That's just the cue for Shawn to know everyone in America's favorite segment on this show. They love it. They live for it. Which started out real quick, the backstory. It started out with nervousness. Claudio had a plan. He's the new guy. I don't want to step on your toes, but I got a good plan. And then me and Shayne are like, yeah, that sounds good. You're going to do it.
Well, yeah, my idea was everybody be involved.
Everybody. But we put it all on
the
Claudio.
Day before the show, let's keep it 100. The day before the show, Oh, yeah, Claudio. We're going to do Cut It Out. It's great. It's all you. That's it.
That's how we do it.
That's how we do it.
But you know what? I appreciate it.
You learn on the
chance.
fly.
Sink or
I'm
swim.
learning. I'm trying. I'm getting better.
Accountability.
There you go.
Exactly. This is what Leno needs to figure out. Nagy and Leno need to figure this out.
Some people take their kids to swimming lessons. Phil and I pick our kids up and fire them into the pool. They'll figure it out.
With 20-pound ankle weights just to make sure they really earn
So
it.
listen,
as
just
well.
before my segment though, we're gonna have time for the Nagy talk between you guys or what? The Nagy debate, or are we gonna do that after?
It's getting late. I think.
Okay, because people were asking for it, so that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we covered a lot of it anyway.
All right.
I think Cars is conceding to the white flag has been raised. I think everybody in the world knows.
I got my popcorn ready. I'm
Look at him.
Let's
Do you
go.
want to talk about Nagy Cars quick?
Real quick.
Have you ever made a cookie without an oven or flour or sugar? Have you ever made that?
Yeah, I went to the store and I bought one.
I thought vegan cookies.
Yeah, because like we have no
ready-made cookies.
They're vegan. Are they vegan cookies?
Vegan cookies, yeah. And how shitty are they?
Nerd alert!
You have the. Forget it. Let's move on to the next.
Exactly. Everyone's
that was well played. That was well played.
I love you. We get it. Cars is a big Nagy supporter. He's the only one on the show. Yes.
No, it's not. Listen, you have the 20.
Cars, holler at me, boy. Holler at me, man. What's going on? Let me hear your perspective, Papa.
You have the 22nd highest paid line in the NFL, with 1/3 of that going to Charles Leno.
Okay.
2/3 of that goes to Bobby Massey with Leno. You have basically an offensive line that you have invested 0 picks in for the most part, right? Whitehair was 5 years ago, who was supposed to be Jason Spriggs. You have James Daniels, who's out. You haven't drafted a tackle at all until this season, which is actually Simmons, because they want to move Hambright inside.
Bouliger, don't forget him.
Oh no, yeah, we forget about him.
That was year one. Yeah, that was Pace's first year, I believe.
For Bouliger.
We have made
for bullshit.
Oh god, he was terrible. He was as useless as that guy you showed.
He actually, believe it or not, isn't he the? Where did
he didn't remember he missed the plane or something?
Yeah, but he was in like some crazy shit. Yeah, he had a lot of
unapologetic truth agrees with you. It's time to move on this topic.
He's a troll.
No, if he agrees with Cars.
Let's move on.
That dude's a troll. Unapologetic truth. Unapologetic goof. Fuck out of here.
Yes, it's confirmed. Yes, Mr. 300. I saw Carter. Really want to shout out you guys. The overwhelming amount of support that we have seen in this first week of opening up Patreon has been amazing. We love Cars. He's our boy. We don't agree here, but we get it, and we'll continue. And you know what? Matt Nagy's story's not, over. I just see it completely different, and that's what it is for now. And we'll get into it more. Olin Kreutz said, "Tell Cars I'm coming for him on November 4th. He wants."
No problem.
He wants to take you to the firing range like he did Fred Miller.
No, Cars will not show up that day, and I don't blame you, Cars.
I wouldn't blame him either.
I'll see that. I have no problem with it.
Listen, the Patreon network, www.tapeneverlies.com, unbelievable. Go over there, sign up. You're going to get advanced instruction, teaching. It's all about analysis, breaking down the Bears in an educated, not formulated by stats, one iota. It's all about the tape. It's all about this show and having fun, as well as getting in-depth analysis there. So really appreciate all of you guys doing that. Now, finally, Claudio, you put away your popcorn. Yep. We got Sierra, the freaking factor, back on with us. You got to perform your segment. Great for this guy because everybody in America, or everybody that loves the Tape Never Lies Network, loves Cut It Out.
Hey, cut it out. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you must have been at the top of your fucking class.
It's Claudio the Barber.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out!
Just cut it out.
Cut it out!
Cut it out.
Cut it out!
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Cut it out! Cut it out!
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Man, cut that shit out! Cut it out! Cut it out!
It's Cut It Out with Claudio the Barber. Hey, you gotta let me talk, Phil. Hey, you gotta let me speak. Claudio is gonna be bringing a new sense to keeping it 100. It's Cut It Out with Claudio on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Cut it out with
look at
Claudio.
this. I got new scissors. Look at these.
Wow.
Very nice.
Very. He's got the new
We went
scissors
to
for the
Spirit
segment.
Halloween to get some costumes, and these were there, and I'm like, perfect.
For the show.
Perfect.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Put it on the tax sheet. We'll claim
we'll
it
write it
later.
off.
We'll write it off. Claudio's
Go
working.
above and beyond in Call of Duty.
Actually, shout out to my wife. She actually picked them up. She
look
actually
at that.
texted me from there. She's like, "Oh, look at these." I'm like, "Let's go, pick them up."
Well,
They're only
Claudio's
$20.
a barber in Connecticut. Claudio, do you want to share before we start
Yeah.
your segment? Next
we'll
week's show.
tease- Next
Let's
week, so
tease a little bit.
I might
of
be
this.
Claudio the Barber, but I met this guy through, barbershop antiques. You know, he collects them, and we met, whatever. And he happens to be not just any barber. He is the Bears barber. The barber at Hallis Hall, Lawrence Funk from Funk's Barbershop.
Yep.
He's my boy. The dude is a great dude all around. Great barber. His shop is sick. And he cuts a lot of the players that we talk about. He cuts their hair. And it's cool. And he's in the chat. I seen him talking.
Look at him. He's
He was
here.
in the chat. I didn't want to. We were talking. I didn't bring him up, but we're gonna have him on next week, and I think it's gonna be a pretty cool guest to have on. He's got some. He sees. As barbers, we're also psychologists and analysts, and the people we cut, they talk about everything to us. So who knows what kind of info he got on some people. So we'll see what he says, and we'll see what he brings.
Barbers
He's a great
talk,
dude.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. You can't put out too much out there, but I'm sure he'll have some cool stories. So he's gonna come on next week. He's a great dude.
That's going to be exciting.
Lawrence Funk. Yeah.
I'm just curious of how
My
they
dream
do
job.
their hair.
My dream job. Before I met him, I told my wife, I'm like, my dream job is to be the Bears barber at. And this is.
I'm going to put together
Probably
a
have
little.
to move to Chicago though.
Oh, I would.
yeah.
That might be a small.
That'd be definitely important. Yeah.
He's been talking about it. Funk actually. We and Claudio went down and got our haircuts there. I'm going to put a little piece together to honor him for coming on, and how we do, like you're open, and give him a little bit of a nice
well
intro.
deserved.
We were there.
Great
He was a
dude.
good dude. Yeah. Anyway, there's your tease, Claudio. Am I pressing the buttons tonight, or
Yeah. So don't do the football one, not the Nagy one. Do the first
Okay,
one.
we're going.
They're labeled. I got it.
Oh, you got it. All right.
Shane's gonna do it tonight. There you go.
Take the comments down.
Take all the comments
Let me
down.
do mute here. Get on the mute.
Let me get the comment. There you go.
All right, you ready? You ready, Claude?
Yes.
Claudio the Barber.
Here we go.
Listen, this is good defense by the Panthers. Allen Robinson, they know, is a go-to guy. He's
All
going
right,
to come
so,
up and come inside.
Listen, I don't know who
They
has
give
it
you all
out
the
for us
fluff with
more,
bunch
the
routes
refs
and
or
trying to figure it
Vilma,
out, but look, two
because
guys
obviously
are
this is
breaking
pass
on him, so
interference. It should
you're
be a
gonna
flag.
have
But
to-
listen
you're
to
gonna make
Vilma here.
calls. You're going to have to find the one-on-one
Wait,
coverage.
listen.
Russell Douglas came over the
Here we go.
back. He was going for the ball. Might have been a little early, but, let him play. No call, no foul. Now, some of the
Okay,
Bears
yeah,
are
let
saying
him
the
play.
ball
So
was
what do you think
tipped.
on this play, Vilma?
I don't know.
All right,
Take a look.
here you
All
go.
I know is that Kyle Fuller read this
Here's a
route so
pass
beautifully.
where
He just got there too
it gets
early.
tipped.
He
But
sees it,
anyways,
he squats, he goes, and you can tell clearly over the back. He's not even going to argue. He knows he was there too early.
Cut it out. Are you kidding me? Cut it out. And Nagy, cut it out. How are you not throwing the challenge flag right there? It's tipped. Obviously. So cut it out, both of you, all of you. The refs, everybody.
Look at you getting fired up.
Yeah, what do you think, Shane? All right, you like that?
I like it.
That,
I like the fire.
Sean,
like
that?
the new graphic with the scissors.
Yeah,
Shane did that, right? Is that the rule?
Oh yeah, the graphic. You're right.
Yeah, that was easily 3 minutes of my life that I contributed to Claudio's segment here today, putting those moving scissors in there.
It made it work. It made it work.
And you did pull out the reality of the truth. The freaking tape don't lie right there. He's climbing over the back. The announcers have double standards. You could see, I sensed Vilma, even though he did call us truthfully in regards to Jalen Johnson. That was horrific. That was completely... How are you a broadcaster, a former football player, blaming Nick Foles for finding... You got to find the one. He did find the one-on-one. The guy came right through him, and interference. The whole opposite of what happens in regards to that. And it's unfortunate. So I totally agree with you. I wanted to punch Vilma. I was punching the pole in my basement because I was getting so fired up that there was no flag there. Gets me crazy. If I would
please let's not say punching the pole in the basement. we stay away from that one.
We take bad football really hard here, Cars.
You know what, Phil? I was trying. Thanks COVID, but I was trying. I had a buddy who was going to try and get me to be a color commentary for the Big Ten Network this year, and because I got tired of that, dude. That's literally why I got into sports broadcasting. Was because I got tired of hearing people, first of all, on the Score and ESPN, they're talking these guys, calling these guys bums. I'm like, wait a minute, when was the last time you did anything athletic and didn't pull your fucking hamstring? Okay, that's for starters. Secondly, you're saying stupid stuff and you're getting paid for this? I was like, no. So that's really one of the biggest reason I got into sports broadcasting, because I can give you a perspective as a player and a perspective as a coach. Okay, so I have a pretty well-rounded opinion. And to hear people like that, like Jonathan Vilma, double talk, that pissed me off. That bothers me. And it happened. I mean, I get it. They transition. You want to hear a former player, but damn, dude, just it's like we're asking the umpires in baseball. Just keep it consistent, man. That's all we're doing. Just keep it consistent.
Keep it 100.
Keep it 100. Exactly.
Yeah, look at you. We didn't even get you. We got to get them to give us a station ID. I almost forgot that tonight.
Yeah, we'll do that before we go. But we'll go. You ready for your?
Yeah, let's do it. I think this should be good. I'd put this together with music too. I added my own music to this.
Look at
We'll
this.
see what happens.
I haven't seen any of these.
Kids, pull those comments down, Phil.
Yeah.
I don't have it. There we go.
There you go.
Mark Potash.
Hey man,
Right, Mark,
how concerned are you about the offensive
please,
line?
cut it out and
how
just say
problematic is it to
Leno by
improve that,
name.
considering that, compared to other positions, even quarterback, you can't just usually you can't just change one guy and solve it and fix it.
Yeah, we know that across the board on offense right now, there's different things that we can get better at, and that's everybody, myself included.
Yeah, okay. Let me show you how it's done. Hey, this is Claudio the Barber from Tape Never Lies Network. Just want to follow up on that, and I'll show you a video real quick, and then I'll have a question for you. So just check it out.
I work out. I work out. I work out. I work out.
Yeah, so as you can see there, that's Leno putting more effort in than he's done on any game this season. So where are you and the coaches at? And, are you guys thinking of maybe benching him at all or what? What's going on?
We put a lot of stock into what these guys have done, up until now. And then, again, a lot, too, with what our coaches feel and where they're at and Coach Juan Castillo, where he's at. And it's all of us.
Cut the fucking shit out and bench the motherfucker.
You had your own. You're acting now. You're making a.
I had to bring it.
Together.
You told him to bring it. He brought it.
I brought it.
Yes.
The production quality.
I'm like,
you amazed me there, Claude. I'm like, I don't remember this long fucking pause in this press conference at all. And I'm like, oh shit, this dude cut this all up.
You did it yourself.
I'm learning.
I have not seen this, Sean. This is what we do, like vulnerable and honest reaction. That I really said, I don't want to see
things you can do with a Motorola Razr from 1998. Claude stepping up.
He's giving Samsung Galaxy phones some light at the end of the tunnel.
You better get an endorsement from them, but Claudia, you better get an endorsement from them, Papa.
Yeah.
Listen, but for real, like, has anybody actually brought up Leno's name in a question?
No.
Because they brought up other players. They brought up Coward. They brought up, other players. Have they actually brought this guy's name up so he has to address him, by name?
Look at that.
No, I mean, you got to hold them accountable. You got to. But I told you what happens is a lot of people, because the Bears, they know they run this town, and people are literally scared that they won't get credentials. They'll have their credentials taken away, and but you're not doing that's not doing a service to the people who are reading what you're writing or listening to what you're saying, because these are the questions that they want to ask. So you be the mouthpiece for us and ask the tough questions. You get paid X amount of millions of dollars. You're there for what? 10, 12, 15 minutes max after a game. You can handle it. You could take the bullets. You could take the heat, Papa. Trust me. You can take the heat.
Listen, when the reporters pussyfoot with the questions, then the coach is going to pussyfoot with the answer.
Well, he does kind of set a tone of like, I don't know about you guys. I got to look back at it again, but it was really weird how after the game, Shane, when he was like, he didn't want to talk about how bad his offense was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they got that message and they moved on to no.
Yeah,
you came here to change this. You had Mitch. He's gone. The same problems with the run game and offense with Mitch are happening with your guy. So who's the one piece? You.
Common denominator. Bingo.
Yeah, there you go. The offensive line too. So you're the coach. That's what you're putting out there.
You have to make a change on the offensive line.
Oh my God.
You have to, and I'm never going to buy the excuse that, it can get worse. Well,
no, it's the worst. It's the worst it's ever been.
Just like you say, it might get worse. It might get better. I mean, you don't
know a person's heart.
If we just get mediocre, that's going to be an improvement. I mean, let's be honest. If we get mediocre at offensive tackle, that's going to be an upgrade. So,
Walrus actually have teeth. Very good line. You guys in the chat have been killing it. I love you guys. Is there another cut it out?
No.
Okay.
That's it.
You guys have been killing it. Little bit of business. Obviously, I've told you about twice now about the Patreon channel, but also this show always becomes a podcast. Bears Hour Live becomes a podcast now. You can find it on Shy City Sports. Just look for the podcast app, whatever you're using. Type in Keepin' It 100, a Chicago Bears podcast. Also, you'll find Bears Hour Live there, and this little business will tell you everywhere you could find our podcast.
Keeping It 100 can be found on all podcast streaming apps: iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Overcast, Castbox, Deezer, and finally, officially on Google Music and Podcasts. It's Keeping It 100 with Phil and Shane.
Oh yeah, Keeping It 100. You guys love it. We love you. Shawn has been tremendous with us. We get into our final segment, Shane's favorite segment, the shout out segment. Actually, we got to do bold Cherise.
Yeah.
Bold predictions. Holy shit. And if you have some questions, we really want to get to those too. If you have a question for Shawn, throw it in the chat. We'll see it. Claudia will put it up. I know this show has been great. Obviously, Cars, I love you. We'll get into the naggy stuff as we move forward. We'll see where you are later. And let me say this. Don't rag on my boy Cars. He's one of the great guys. He's a good friend. He is just like everybody else on this panel, will be the first guy to say, you know what, I was wrong. And that's why I respect this motherfucker. So anyway, I know he'll be saying that in a couple weeks. But anyway, let's move on to the next step. Let's move on to this. Bold predictions. And since we have a guest here, and I don't want anybody to steal his, so what we're going to do is a prediction. And last week I said Cole Kmet would score his first touchdown. That came to fruition. So 2 weeks in a row, the refs fucked me over with the Khalil Mack 3 sacks against Brady. He got 2. He should have had 3. They threw the roughing call. Cole Kmet came through for me. So I'm on a roll, Claudio. Hopefully, my boy, the Superback. What do you got? Prediction, Bears, Rams, score, and then you're bold. Something, sacks, touchdown, whatever, player get benched, whatever you got. Give us a bold.
All right, so here's my prediction. See, remember the Bears beat the Rams a couple of years ago. It was a little cold here, and they were bitching and moaning like little sissies. Like, it was cold. If you're lucky, if we were in LA, it'd be a whole different story. Well, guess what? We're going to LA, and there's a whole bunch of people on this team who remember that, and I can guarantee you that they're going to remember all this. If this was LA, we would have beat your ass. I think the Bears come out and they really put a game together. I think Nick Foles and that offense get on track a little bit. And I'm not putting up 40, but I think they're going to 21 points to 24 points. I think that offense is going to put up. So I say the Bears 20.
An offensive explosion.
Yeah. Hey, they're in California, and we'll feel the shockwaves all the way over here. Okay, with that explosion that's happening over there. But no, I think the defense might get one. I'm thinking. I think the Bears put it together. I'd say 31 to like 24. I think they have. Maybe no, they take that back. 31-17. I think the defense is going to really show out, and it'll be a penalty like the touchdown they scored last week is going to get them good field position. And my bold prediction.
Yes.
My bold prediction for the week is. Yeah, let me think. I was thinking, and I had it, and I lost it. So give me 1 second.
It could come back to you if you want to pass.
Yeah, give me a second.
All right, he's going. He wants a bold. Claudio, give us your prediction and your bold prediction.
Smoke weed every day.
So I'll do my bold prediction first. Is that all right? We'll do that?
Keeping it 100. Go ahead.
Right. So my bold prediction is when we're ahead in the fourth quarter at the end of the game, Nagy will actually run the ball on third down to kill the clock for once.
Really?
Yes. So we'll be up, and he'll actually run the ball like he's supposed to.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Because it never fucking happens. So that's my bold prediction. And so obviously, I think we'll be winning. I think we'll win the game. I think it will be close, but I think our offense will show up too. So I think I'm gonna go 30 to 21.
30-21. Shawn, what was your score again? 31-17?
31-17.
31-17. 30-21. Claudio.
21. Yeah.
I got my bold prediction.
Go ahead.
All right. I think the guys are going to step up big time. I think that I'm telling you, this offense is really going to put it together, at least for this game. And hopefully it catapults us moving forward. But I say we have a 300-yard passer, a 100-yard rusher, and a 100-yard receiver against this Rams team.
Whoa. Nice. Oh. This is bold times 3.
That sounds so pretty. So nice.
I haven't seen that since Jeff Graham and Curtis
Conway.
The glory Grossman, days, Bernard Berrien, and Thomas Jones.
Oh, Claudio is the biggest Rex Grossman fan.
Oh, he's a Rex Grossman apologist.
He is a Rex Grossman apologist. We're going to have his own show. He's going to have his own show.
Yeah, tell us all about him, Claude, real quick. Wrap it up in 30 seconds.
Give a bold Grossman story. Hurry up.
A story? Well,
what you're feeling?
A real story. Walter Camp in Connecticut.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't give a fuck. There you go. Shayne.
Claudio.
It was gonna be a funny Grossman story.
We're sure it was. That's great.
Nobody
cares.
We'll
save it for next
week.
week. Save it for next week.
He did, wait. I will say this. As a Bear fan, he has brought us. He was the quarterback of the team that gave me the best experience I ever had. Was going to the Super Bowl. I was at that Saints championship game, and you can't say he didn't play good in that championship game because he did.
All right.
Right?
I see where you're biased.
Can you
for
at least
him.
admit that?
We just went down 64 listeners.
Claudio loves some fucking Grossman.
I love him, man.
Cars, give us your bold prediction. And
I feel upset because I predicted 4 interceptions last week, and the refs screwed me out of 2 of them.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That's right.
Yeah, that has me quite concerned. But I'm sticking with it that there will be 3 more interceptions over. He got it at Jared this week. So I will expect actually Roquan for one of those and the safeties for the other 2. But I'm looking at a 20-13 Bears win. I don't expect it. None of these games that they've ever played have been high scoring the last 2 seasons. I'm concerned about Aaron Donald versus pick anybody on the offensive line, interior, and so that's my biggest concern. But I think Goff has been exposed, and I think that's what really gets us that victory.
Beautiful. Guys in the chat, if you have your score and your bold prediction, now's the time to share it, because on this show, we actually could put you up and we can actually record your bold predictions. Like Zach Sullivan, the clockmaker. Look at him. He's throwing 12-10 Bears.
Oh, God.
So that's
going to be a fun VHL to cover the 12-10 game.
Kofi Omaheng. I hope I said your name right. Send yours, and Claudio will put them up there as we go and move next to Shane Marsaw. Your prediction and your bold prediction.
Well, I'm obviously going to go with Chicago. I think they're, the defense is legit. I think at some point they're going to get a little bit of a offensive showing like Shawn was speaking about, but I'm going to say that the score that I have in my head is 21-17. Chicago wins to move to 6-1. And I don't know how bold this is because the guy's a fabulous player, but I'm a big believer. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and we see it. When the lights come on, Khalil Mack goes to work. So I'm picking a 3-sack game for number 52.
I should have went before this guy is all my bold prediction.
Was that Tate? Look, is that Tate making the score prediction? 740. Every time I ask Phil's sons, when I go see the game with him, I ask Phil's sons what their prediction is every week. And they always say like 90-0 or fucking 80-0.
They're like Saturday Night Live, the super fans.
Awesome. I mean, listen.
They're the super fans.
374 to tree.
Yeah.
I love that. 24-10. Look at Alex Acevedo. People getting it.
One more prediction. I'm going to another
bold.
It's not bold, but you're going to see another good game from Mario Edwards, who's a very underrated player on this defense.
Oh, yes. I highlighted him in the Patreon.
That's not too bold.
Patreon version of The Tape Never Lies this week. So head over there, www.thetapeneverlies.com. Sign up. You get in there. You're going to get invited. I had to say this. I forgot. I'm sorry. You get invited to the private Facebook group. And you could post in there, and we'll have live shows like this that are for Patreon members only, as well as on the private YouTube page. All of that will be explained. Go over there, sign up. My prediction for the score, I hate to say it, I'm here with Cars, and I look at this offensive line and their performance against the Carolina Panthers, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous about this team traveling, and I'm nervous about how Nagy is going to call this game on primetime? Is he going to be what Shawn called him, the smartest? I got to be the smartest man. I'm going to come in the inverted bone, and we're going to run option on one play. And then the next play, we're going to go into T formation, and we're going to do something cute for Hallis, George Hallis, and Mrs. McCaskey up there. Instead of recognizing, get a fucking fullback in there, run the bob play 3 times, and then action game off of it down the field so this offense could work to where it needs to be. That's my concern. So with that, my gut is worried about that defensive front with Aaron Donald and company. My heart is with the Bears, so I'm going with my truth. My truth is 20, it's going to be a nail-biter. 20-18, the Chicago Bears on the leg of none other than Cairo Santos to end the game, going out there and winning the game for the Chicago Bears. It's going to be 2 defensive battles there, especially on the road. If the Bears were home, I'd feel a lot more comfortable about this football game. But that travel and that offensive line, I really think that's going to happen. I was going to go 3 sacks from Khalil Mack. But I'm going to say this. My bold prediction is Eddie Jackson finally gets that defensive touchdown this week. He's been screwed over, 3 times now? 3 times? 3 times. Twice in that game. Once in the other game. So
he would have had, if Akeem didn't pick up that fumble.
Oh,
Eddie Jackson.
Yeah, see, the fat guys got it. They need to turn out all the blockers. When I told my guys that, I'm like, look, if there's 2 of you, and it's a D lineman and the linebacker or a safety, DB, let the DBs go. You turn around, you're the blocker. Okay, your fat ass ain't making it down 40, 50 yards. No. Go celebrate with him in the end zone afterwards.
I said it right away. I'm like, right, Claudio? I go, let Eddie Jackson pick it up. We're going in the house. Then we don't got to worry about Nagy and the offensive line and all the other drama. We just pick the ball up, score, and everything opens up. And I think from what I've seen, this team, the Bears, the whole team feeds off the defense. Everything's going through the defense. I know I made a comment in the Tape Never Lies. I feel like Pagano has his guys where Nagy should have his offense right now. And if it does, to Shane's point, if Carr's guy turns this around and they become a functional, just even middle of the road offense, this team could go very far in the playoffs, especially when Dustin's showing 4 and 12s for divisions and shit. This team has a special defense. So we did it. We got it all done, Claudio. You got to get that shout-out music. Is there anything else? Oh, before we do that, we got to get Shawn Sierra's station ID. So when we put this at the midway point, when we go through the bye, I'm going to put all our guests together, and we're going to have a nice promo for the Tape Never Lies Network. So I'm going to put you on the spot here, and I'm going to isolate on you, Shawn, and you got to show us your chops here. Take the comment down. So I'm going to give you the script. You're going to say who you are, where you're at, and then you're going to come out and you're listening.
You can even give your height. You can give your height.
5'11".
I can say 5'11". I can say 5'11".
Yes.
Shut the front door.
Yes, you actually are 5'11" in my book. Don't listen to anyone named Chris. Never listen to anyone Chris with the last name S. They're always worried about your height. Anyway, take the banner down. I don't know if you could do that, Claudio.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it? And then you're listening to my guys on the best network, the Tape Never Lies Network. So, Shawn Sierra, SportsZone Chicago, and you're listening to Phil, Shane. You don't have to name everyone. You're listening to my guys on the Tape Never Lies Network. How about that? Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look right into the camera. Hey, Papa.
Do I make love to the camera? Do I make love to it?
What kind of Zoom call is this? You want the countdown?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ready? 3.
Give me the Janet Jackson one.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, guys? It's your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra from SportsZone Chicago, and I'm listening to my guys on the Tape Never Lies Network.
There you go.
Nerd alert! Oh, we're kidding. we had to give him grief.
The Tape Never Lies
Was
All
that good?
Access.
Was that good? Do I need to take another take?
That was good. No,
It
we'll
was
take
good.
it.
Okay, I felt
Unless
a little weird.
if you don't feel comfortable with
No,
it.
I didn't feel comfortable on that one.
So then do another one. I'm always about what you feel. Let me get your factor back up. There you go. 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, it's your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra from SportsZone Chicago, and I'm listening to my guys on the Tape Never Lies Network.
Yes, you're right. I'm glad you did it
Killed it.
again. I'm glad you did. Claudio's glad you did it again. All access. Tape Never Lies, all access. Look at this guy.
I'm going to drop the pen.
There you go. We didn't have a mic, but we do have our last segment of the show. And look at this. We've gone 3 hours of uninterrupted, just straight fun show. Look at Cherie, one of our we call him 100 Crews. We call him the 100 Crew. One of our super fans, super people there on the 100 Crew. And we always
That's the music,
give
right? You can hear
our,
music?
Yeah, you can
Okay.
turn it down just one, because we love the hip hop. We don't stop. We riggedy rock. Look at that. I should freestyle someday, but not today. For cars. I'll do it for cars.
We're not ready for that.
We always have a guest, when we do have a guest on, in the Spencer Strong shout out segment. Hashtag Spencer Strong, one of our own 100 Crew's son has struggled with brain tumors. We here at the Tape Never Lies Network ask people to support childhood cancer. It's overlooked. It's totally not cool. So if you have it in your heart, hashtag it up, Spencer Strong. That's way we know who you are, and you are 100 Crew, 100 True. Anyway, Shawn, do you have anyone you want to shout out tonight?
I want to shout out my guys over at Shawn and Maya in the Morning on SportsZone Chicago. That's my co-host Maya Akai, my producer Ivan, who you guys met.
Ivan.
Yes, I want to shout out my crew over there, and we're looking forward to having you back soon, baby. Soon.
Absolutely.
Talking some football, baby, some real football with some. So I'm not talking to a meathead. What do we talk about? Jay sucks. Jay Cutler sucks. Why? Because he sucks. Yeah, I gotta go.
That's the end of it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's a good shout out, Claudio.
Well, like always, I gotta shout out my wife. You know, I need her to be happy. So happy wife, happy life. Shout out my wife and my kids. They're the best. So I gotta shout out this guy. He changed his name on YouTube to Billy Stamps. Okay, because what happened was he actually put a timestamp on our show right here, Keepin' It 100, and he timestamped everything we talked about throughout the show. So somebody wants to go on. Yeah, and then Phil comments and says, oh, we need to hire you. And then I say, you need to change your name to Billy Stamps. And he changes his fucking name to Billy Stamps now. So on YouTube, his name is Billy Stamps. And hopefully he's going to keep doing it. I think he's going to keep doing it. So we're going to shout him out for sure. Jeremy Plzinski, right? Did I say that right? Plzinski.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Yeah,
Okay.
sounds good.
He's a man.
He did try to tell me how to pronounce it over the phone, and I'm sorry, Jeremy, I fucked it up. I forgot.
How do you think his 7 ex-wives feel?
Working on that number 8. I think we might have it by the end of the show.
Doesn't work, you try again, I guess. So gotta shout him out because I mean he made us these mugs. He made us. I think you guys have them there. You know, he does so much on social media and it does a lot for everybody.
Well,
here,
mine's behind me, but yes.
Yeah, I gotta grab mine. It's still at Phil's.
Claudio's is here in the box.
Grammar and spelling are important.
So I got a few in the chat
too. Pull the beat back. You forgot. You were under pressure.
Oh shit.
That's okay.
Well, I was talking, so. You
I'll
can
just
handle
mute
it.
it. I'll
Claudio's
mute it.
playing a commercial for erectile dysfunction in our shout-out segment.
Hold on, let me skip the
When the moment hits you, make sure you're ready.
It causes this problem. It causes
Can we
that
get to the
problem.
ball shaving part that every other Chicago podcast is
You don't
doing
need
right
people
now,
running
too?
around with babies.
All right, it's a different song. It's a different song. Is that all right? We'll leave that. There he
Claude.
is, the daddy.
It's just
all right. So
all of a
smooth.
sudden the mood went back
Oh,
into like it's jazz nightclub.
I don't know how to go back. So
This is Light 100.7. I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil, and this is a
Let me
little
see. Maybe I can go
pillow
back.
talk with Claudio. No, it's all right.
No, I can't go. Okay. All right. Well, so
Just
real
finish
quick,
your
so,
shout.
well, I'm trying.
Switch it
I'm
when
trying.
Cars is going.
All right. So listen. So Alex H in the comments, he said his birthday was October 19th. My daughter's birthday was just October 19th, so I shout you out for that. Alan Brancher, he was helping me out. I had an echo earlier, so he helped me out. So I'll shout him out. And Marco C, he's an Italian Canadian fan of the show. An Italian Canadian.
Forget about it. How you doing?
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
I'm sure he's very nice, and he's a Bear fan. He's a fan of ours, so. there we
Blame
go.
Canada,
Marco
always.
C. Yeah. Those are my shoutouts. I'm good.
Good
All right,
job.
let me fix the music.
Fix the beat
Try it.
for
Try it.
Cars. Cars is a big hip hop connoisseur. Are you Biggie
Yes.
or Pac, Shawn?
Everybody, when they look at me, goes, "Yeah, that's a hip hop connoisseur." Yeah, Casper the Ghost is who I'm going to for my music choices. That's for sure.
Casper. Shawn, are you Biggie or Tupac?
Biggie and Pac is a super duper close second.
Oh,
But Biggie, you know what?
You're
Give
in my
me a
crew.
Biggie. You know what? Because Pac was more political, and Pac. Don't get me wrong, he's bad crazy, but Biggie, his lyrics were just kick ass, dude. Kick ass.
Yeah.
And then there's no disrespect to Pac by any stretch.
I'm right there with you. We try to ask every guest that question every time they come on. Cars, I think you're Pac, right, Cars?
I am, yes.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Yeah.
by that. You are no longer a hip hop connoisseur.
If that's all it takes, I got some hot takes on some other things everybody will hate too. So let's, but from between my head coach decisions and my rap music, we'll just keep piling them on up. It's no problem.
Who are you shouting out tonight?
So first and foremost, my 4-year-old who threw an absolute shit fit when I tried to leave the room today. So I apologize for being late. But working late wife and trying to put a kid to sleep who was not having it. So thank you, Maisie, for ruining the evening. I always have to shout out my other child, Dustin, for keeping me sane during all of this. I'm flattered beyond flattered that he has changed his screen name. It's illegitimate, as illegitimate as it comes, but it is there. But no, I think I say it kind of every week, but I enjoy the interactions with everyone on social media, on Twitter. It's a lot of fun to talk with everybody here, other than Chubbs. So. Thanks, everybody, and that's it.
There you go. I love this dude. Appreciate you jumping on, always with us, Cars, bringing a different perspective on football and the Bears, and always backing it up with facts and humor. That's how we keep it here. Shane, your favorite part of the show. I know you got a long list.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out some of the new patrons that we picked up during this show.
During the show?
Yeah, during this show. Carter.
Carter.
Sydney Audain, Jesse, Paul Penzgowski, Abe Espinoza, Reed Weber, Oscar Lopez, Jared.
Maybe I could freestyle.
Forehelm. You guys got some crazy names.
Throw in the Forehelm.
Yeah, Jason Fleming, Mike O'Brien, JD Kobus, and Asher Benjamin are the guys that I'm going to shout out, the new patrons. And Phil, you had told me to make up a little thing for this guy.
I gotta shout this out.
Yeah.
I told his wife. Listen, I gotta shout this guy out. Can you take that banner out? Anthony Walker. Let me just say this a little bit about him. Not only is he a Patreon member, but he's also been in Shane and my corner since the beginning, and he's always sharing, promoting us. I want to wish you and your wife a happy 12th anniversary. I know Plashinsky almost fell off his chair because he's through 8 wives now. My boy Anthony, proud of you and your wife. I just want to let you know we love you, but not as much as she loves you. We appreciate your support here, and really happy anniversary to you guys. And we thank you for being a loyal Patreon charter member and proud to be a part of that 100 crew. Look at that. You even
His
get
son's
your own.
wearing his hat like Steven.
Yeah, he looks like he is a hip hop connoisseur. Look at him. Yeah.
That
for
face
you,
says
Shane.
Tupac all day long. I'm
That
sorry.
was Biggie.
That says Tupac.
That hat says Biggie. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
No, the face. The face.
the face.
All in. Yeah.
Cute kid.
Okay. He is a beautiful kid.
Beautiful kid.
So happy 12th anniversary. Shane took a lot of my shout outs. Look at him.
Yeah, he needed a do-rag if he was Pac, man. He needed a do-rag if he was little bandana.
The back bandana. Remember the back bandana?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like Aunt Jemima, tie it up right here.
Listen, I have to start my shout outs with none other than the guy that's on the show. Right here. Mr. Sierra. Bringing the heat. That's that closer speed. What's that dude from the Yankees throwing 105 for miles?
For all the Chapman.
Yeah, that dude throwing, you're bringing it just like him. I can't thank you enough for coming on and joining us. The chat room was a flutter with you. I think you picked up some new followers on Twitter. I see them saying I'm following this guy on Twitter.
Sean in the chat room.
I did. Thank you very much, bro. I did. I picked up quite a few people. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Probably.
Phil Freeze.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. Yeah, Sean, man, appreciate you doing overtime with us, man. That was a lot of fun. You're the first guy that we've let go, and then you gave the thumbs up and came back and stayed for the rest of the show. So we love that.
I came to work, baby. I came like the Bulls. I want to punch the time clock and bring my hard hat and lunch pail.
There you go.
No Jim Boylan references. You get out right now. You get out just like Jim Boylan. I'm sorry.
You can't make this up. Right in the shout out, something goes on with StreamYard. Just like,
That's my intention. Actually, I programmed
Did you
it.
do that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
It takes
makes
us
sense.
45 minutes, so that was kind of the goal.
Anyway.
I'm starting to think Leno has something to do with
Something StreamYard, man.
I think Leno and Nagy.
It's not my internet
something
speed
to
at
do
all.
with
It just started freezing. I want to shout out a lot of the Patreon members that have just shown such support. Joseph White, Dino T the Great. I always see Dino on YouTube commenting. He's like, I just gotta subscribe to get more of this. Jose Casaquilo, Miles Olson, Chris Miller, Kenny Kane, Cody Kahn, Mathis Fisher, Grady Jackson, Rob Turville, Mr. 300, Chris Jackal. He's been in the chat all night. Eric, Michael, Zach Sullivan, Ben Sullivan, Josh E. Bringing the. Did you see these things behind me? Sean, one of our fans, made the draft Dr. Phil. Claudia,
Yeah, I
Shane
got.
has one.
I'm
over
saving
there.
mine for my new studio, but yeah, they're pretty. I gave us the.
He like made these glass.
Oh,
They're
those
like
are dope.
plexiglass. They're so strong, like a hockey glass. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, that's dope.
And mine's up there.
That's
on
dope
the
as
top.
hell.
Tape never lies.
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
See it up there? Then I got one draft Dr. Phil over there. See
Phil's
it?
so short you can only just see his hat.
Anyway, I see you guys, Frank Carano. You guys have been so instrumental in what we're doing, and I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out our team, the swag team led by Chris Sandlin, Heather Sandlin, Alex Acevedo. You see him in the chat sneaking like a smoker. He's going on a smoke break. No, he's going to watch The Tape Never Lies during his break. That's what it's all about. And Claudia already shouted out Jeremy controlling. I call him the bouncer of the Facebook page. Just great dudes. Chris Schubert, I saw you in there, and I will continue. And I promise this was a lot. It was difficult to continue to break down this tape the way we do and bring you these kind of shows. A 3 hour and 29-minute show. Is that where we're at?
319.
319.
Yeah, 319.
Almost at 20. Just bringing it. All of you guys, I want to shout you guys out. And I want to definitely shout out my wife for everything she does in supporting me in this dope studio I have in my garage. Chris Jackal actually built. And I'm going to take you on the tour. Anyway, Monday night, we'll be live on BHL. Don't miss that. Any parting words before we end this show? Any final questions? Claudio's got the commercial going again.
Let me get this.
You gotta be a good producer.
First time.
Smoke weed every day. Smoke weed every day.
I never get to use these nice little. Can you take the comment down? Let's use these. Let's test these out. Thank you, Kenneth, for keeping it 100. So no one's taking that comment down.
No, it's getting the music going.
Oh man, someone take. There you go. There's a nice, cool. There's Claudio. Look at him. Look at these cool things. We gotta start using these. Cars. Bears Nerd. Follow Bears Nerd on Twitter.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're keeping it 100. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Shy City. Check out them. Go on their message boards. Again, check out their podcast and check out my boy Shawn Sierra. I'll be coming on their show soon. Always have a nerd alert. Shout out to the
0.0
crew.
I don't know what happened there.
I was shouting out the 0.0 crew.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. Anyway, have a great night. We always end the show like, where is it? Where's the ender? Here it is.
This has been a Shy City Sports presentation and a Tape Never Lies Network production. Keeping it 100. Thanks for tuning in to the Tape Never Lies Network.